Good evening, everybody. It is Wednesday, day after Valentine's Day. Hope y'all had a good Valentine's Day yesterday. Welcome to the RideShare Garage. And we are in the house tonight. Joining me tonight, I got Eddie from Driving in Style. I got Steven from the Unboken Driver, which you're going to hear a little bit from Steven tonight. And so far I got Brandon from Chicago, the Chicago Lux Driver. So I'm hoping everybody had a really good past week. As you can tell, I do not sound like Minnie Mouse no more. God damn it. Those days are over.
Sound
Not
very
trying to hear
manly.
it.
Very
I
manly.
sound like me again. So because I sound like me again, we got to do it one time.
Pow.
All right. That's it for my moves. Ain't nobody throwing no 20s and 50s for the lap dance. What's going on, y'all? How's everybody doing tonight?
Doing pretty
20s,
good.
you're
Doing
funny.
pretty good. I want to know. I really want to know about Steven.
Somebody's got a double speaker going. Let's throw that away real quick.
Sounds like Omar. It didn't happen until
Omar,
Omar
you got a
came
double
in.
speaker going. All right. Eddie, what's your question there, buddy? Fire away.
Nothing, just Valentine's Day was pretty good. It was surging, but you guys are going to see on my video that I had to stop the day short because I had to give some time to somebody. So
Oh man, say who it is. Who'd you get some time here?
it was
Wes, what's going on, Wes? Joe, how we doing, buddy? Who'd you have to give the time to, buddy? Who'd you have to give the time to?
to the daughter.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, man.
Oh
What's
snap!
wrong with giving away?
Oh,
What's wrong with giving away?
Wow.
MT, what's going on? What's popping? How we doing? Hey, Vinny, can you get me an employee discount on some Disneyland? Boy, you know what? They already's coming with the jokes. You hear this shit? You hear this, right? This is already a joke. This is already a joke. You know what? Come on, man. Come on, man. Oh my God. He said, "Can you give me a discount on?" Yeah, I got a discount for you, bro. Oh God. Anyway, Florida Drone is in the house. What else we got going? West 370 today, 9 hours Uber X. Bro, that's a smoking day. That's a smoking day. Fun
Yes,
Trader.
sir.
Hey, Fun Trader, bro. I know you're here. I got your email. You know I've been sick. I promise I'm going to respond to your email tomorrow. All right. So, Eddie, did you get some love yesterday?
um. Okay, so with Uber, it was mostly with Lyft. I was getting a lot of rides with Lyft. It is just that Uber. I was just watching Sergio's live, and yes, what they're doing is that they take the surge and they put it as part of the price. So it could be a regular Uber X, and they'll be like, "Oh, it's an XL." I was like, "No, it's an XL because you added the surge on top of it." So that's how the ride is. So they're taking the surge away basically. They're keeping the
Uh-huh.
surge.
Uh-huh. Okay. Brandon, how was your Valentine's Day, my brother?
Oh, it was great. I killed it. I had I did a few Lyft rides, but I had a lot of private rides too. I'll just leave it at that.
So you made some money then.
I made a good chunk of change.
All right. So somebody showed you some love for a change in your life. Somebody came to you and said, Brandon, I'm gonna freaking love you today, and it's gonna be all right. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly, and
All right.
in the
Well,
form of monetization.
hey, bro, hold on real quick. Somebody just said, Joseph Velez, he got deactivated by Uber last week. Whoa, we're gonna have to find out what happened.
Oh, for what?
Yeah, bro, you're gonna have to let us know for what. Are you safe? You didn't punch somebody in the face, did you? All right. We'll come back to that in a minute. Steven. Well, you know what,
Yes,
Steven,
sir.
before I get to you,
Go to us.
Omar, Omar,
Yes.
can you hear us?
Yes.
How was your night last night, sir?
I'm pretty sure you're well aware of how my night went.
Yeah, yeah, I do. Yeah, Beyond, I got my voice back, bro. But right off the rip, somebody asked me for discount tickets to Disneyland. So I
Oh
don't know
yeah,
how I'm going to work that in there, you know.
I
But
I heard.
yes,
Now we'll talk about it later as far as how our night went. I mean, money wise, it could have been a lot better. I think. What did I finish with? Just like under 250, but that was like what 4 hours of work.
right. Well, okay. So yeah, we can get into that. Steven, how was your night, bro? How was your night?
Not great. I ended the night with maybe 130. Um, that's after I left the school and tried to get over. We talked a little bit, and I tried to get over to the Santa Monica, Beverly Hills area and whatnot, the airport.
Right.
But yeah, it was just quiet, and I think I sent some screenshots to the group. I mean, LA just was not surging.
Oh, we just lost Steven. Hurry up, get the snapshot. That's Meme Central. Meme
Oh
I
yeah,
Central.
there
wonder.
you go.
There's
I
Meme.
wonder. Oh, is he coming
Oh,
back?
he's
There he
back.
is.
Oh,
Okay.
he came back. He came back. Did you take a shot? Did you save it? Did you save it? Did you get it?
No, I didn't get it. Go ahead, Steven. You pulled
Yeah,
you
the
pulled the
savage.
one up.
What's it called? So I was trying to get some Lyft Lux and some Lyft Lux Black. I got a couple, like two
Hey,
or three.
Kiki. Go ahead.
And I got 2 or 3, but yeah, it really just wasn't popping like a normal holiday weekend or holiday day would be for driving. So the map was really quiet. Only saw 2s in most areas for Lyft, and the rides
Right.
just weren't really coming in.
Maybe there's a possibility that you had a lot of people from California and LA at the Super Bowl, and they were just kind of like,
I believe that's true too. I was explaining that to some of the people in the Discord. I really think that you just had a lot of people that were overspending money at that point, already traveled. That was their big, Valentine's Day, thing. So that's fine. I'll get back into the regular daily grind and working my strategy of using the mornings to my advantage before I start my regular W-2.
and I kind of want to talk about that later, Vinny.
Well, we're going to get into it pretty quick here, I think, because I think it's important. We need to have this conversation about what's going on with these low ball offers. I have a theory. I do have a theory, and it didn't hit me until last night. So we can talk about it here in a minute. I actually had a good day yesterday. I did $330 last night, but there's a big caveat to this. I had one trip. It was one trip that paid me $214 after the tip. Omar knows about the trip. Guys in the group, I think I put it up in the Discord.
Yep.
It was actually a cross-state trip. And when it first popped up, I think I was on the radio. Wasn't I, Omar? We were on the radio, and I said, hey, man, I just got a trip to Naples.
Yeah,
Which
I was getting ready to leave my house. Yeah.
Yeah, the trip to Naples, it was 95 miles away. So it's across the state. Coming from the East Coast to the West Coast of Florida, it's a breeze. One highway, boom, you're wide open. You're good to go. But the
Nice.
but what made me take the trip was because I knew I could get whoever I was taking over there and back before the big Bocelli concert, whatever his name is, that was sold out at what we affectionately call the BB and Polk Center. All right. I knew I could get back in time to catch another ride that night because this ride, what was it, like 6:15 in the evening is when I got the ride. So I made the run. Very nice older woman. Some sadness going on in the family. I get it. So I took her and her plant to her house. I flipped it and ripped it all the way back to Miami. And then, yeah. And then Omar and I ran into the what in the hell is going on at the bro, this is a sold out arena, 17,000 people.
Oh,
17,000.
No, it was more than that. It was like 20 something.
Yeah.
It was in the 20s.
And so Omar was in one spot, one location. I was in another location. When I first pulled in, I put some pictures up on the Discord. If you guys haven't joined the Discord, if somebody can throw the Discord link in the chat, I'd appreciate it. And so, man, when the thing finally let out, the rides started coming in, right? The request, the surge, the bonus, well, the fare replacement. And it finally hit me. Like Omar can attest to this, right? We were both online, both in proximity. Omar, how many rides did we bounce back and forth that we declined?
Oh, probably like at least 20, 30. It was crazy.
And how many of those rides gave you a certain thing and gave me a certain price?
A lot of them were the same, but then there was a little bit of fluctuation, like that one ride that was going all the way north, where it came to me for 80. This is an $80. It said 80 on Uber. It was like a 40-mile trip, maybe a little bit more than 40 miles. But then
Okay.
it would go to Vinny first because Vinny was actually a little bit more closer towards where the requests were coming from. Remember, I was out in the street. I'm literally trying to come into the parking lot, and it was only outgoing traffic only. They would not let anybody else inside of there, which is a whole nother thing we'll talk about later. So yeah, you were getting the request first, Vinny, and then you would report them. You'd say, "Oh, I just got like a $60 ride
Right.
that's going 40 miles. Like, what is this?" And
It
then
was
boom,
insane.
I would get it, and it was bouncing between. And if you put up that picture on Discord, Vinny, there must have been how many 30 black cars there, 50 black cars
Bro,
there.
when I
It
first
looked like
pulled
the
into
airport queue, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. I thought when I pulled into the pickup area last night, it looked like the goddamn airport queue. There must have been 30, 35 black SUVs, a couple other SUVs, different colors, whatever. And then probably another 20 to 25 normal sedans. And they were all jockeying for position. They were all scrunching. I'm going to tell y'all this, and y'all ain't gonna like it, but I'm gonna tell you anyway. Uber drivers can sometimes be their worst goddamn enemy. Okay? First enemy. Worst enemy, I swear. Because if you know there's a rideshare pickup area and that venue, which doesn't have to let us in there, but that venue gives you areas to park, don't go park where you want to park where they're letting you park. And it became a problem. And cop pulled in last night. First guy in the middle of the street.
Oh,
Yep,
got
him and the
it.
cop went at it.
He
Him and the
got it.
cop went at it. And it was just, it's like, come on, bro. Come on, bro.
And
But anyway,
to a certain extent, Vinny, I agree with you. Like, you know me, I'm gonna buck the trend and I'm gonna do kind of what I want, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna park in the middle of the
libertarian.
street. I'm not gonna when the cops get there, you're not gonna fight the cops because what's the point? It's like you said, Vinny, it's private property and they're letting us be on there. So to a certain degree, you want to work with them, but you want to try to find an advantage as well. But don't just, like you said, park where you want. I mean, that is when you are. That's when at that point, this is when I agree with you. When it becomes like an extreme, it's like, come on, guys, you're
It's
making it
crazy.
difficult for anybody to work now.
It's amazing. I mean, listen, in the beginning, Uber used to pay these venues to let us park on their properties, so that their riders, the people that they were that were ordering the rides, wouldn't have to walk. Where do they got to walk now, Omar, for the football game? About a mile to the rideshare lot from the stadium at
No,
or Hard Rock
it's
Stadium.
2 miles.
Okay, 2 miles, right from the venue to the rideshare pickup area. Uber used to pay these people for this. Now they don't pay them no more. So now Uber drivers, Lyft drivers, right? It's a nuisance to the venue because the venues are charging 30, 40, $50 for people to pull in and park. So, you guys got to, I mean, I'm just suggesting. I'm suggesting. I'm not scolding. I'm just suggesting. You guys we can be our own worst enemies sometimes. And you got to
Yeah.
change that mindset. You got to work within the context and the construct of what it is. It's already hard enough and frustrating enough. We got to deal with these lowball offers. But now you got to deal with parking and trying to pick up and get out. It's a tough deal, dude. It's a tough deal. Let me get to a couple of comments here. I see a lot of people saying it's pretty slow today. What else we got here? Okay, there's something there. I'm not, yeah, what the hell? I put it up. Vito says sometimes Brandon makes me think he's doing shady mafia hustling.
Well,
You know,
he's in
it's
Chicago,
not
right?
mafia stuff, but
Yeah,
you
he's in
know,
Chicago. You gotta do. I mean, if you gotta wear a bulletproof vest, it's,
Yeah.
All right. Here's a good question.
I got that in the back.
What's the earliest does the panel typically get started with Uber with their day? Eddie, I'll let you go first on this one.
all right. My alarm always goes off at 3 o'clock in the morning. But I usually hit the road by 5. I've been debating it because my income has been increasing working the after afternoon, after 12. I've been making money and I usually just take it till about 9, 10 o'clock. So, but usually I hit the road at about 5 a.m. and Lyft has been surging a lot. So I've been doing a lot of my harvesting strategy, but not with Uber. It's been with Lyft Then I'll stop. I'll take a 4 hour break. I'll do some day trading, and then I'll hit the road again at about 12.
All right. And don't forget, at the end of the show tonight, we're giving away 2 ebooks for new people that join the Discord group. We're going to give away 2 of Eddie's ebooks, and hopefully, hopefully that helped everybody out, or it can help people out. Brandon,
100K a year, by the way.
yeah, I
100K
saw
a
it.
year.
I saw it, y'all. Eddie, man, let me tell you something.
Let me tell you something. It,
Go
it
ahead.
is it is. I made way over 100K last year. Okay, but I made additional income on top of that because of the affiliates, the private rides, all that other stuff. I was a very, very, very close to doubling what I did last year. Um, but the ebook, I mean, 100K a year. Again, and that's only in my market. It's only, I mean, I like my market. Yeah, if you're here and you get my ebook and stuff, dude, it's easy. You just gotta work long hours and stuff, and make sure you always invest the money.
I mean, I've seen the proof. When you and
Really.
I'm going to tell y'all right now. I ain't one to impress easily.
I took.
I'm just not. I'm not one to impress easily. But Eddie,
Good
we
thing I
got done.
incorporated, by the way.
Oh, you ain't lying about that.
Yeah.
Um, dude, we got off the trading live stream, and he said, "Vinny, you got to look at this." And I sat here stunned, like legit stunned, for a good 5 minutes. And then for the rest of the day, and he'll tell you
He sent me
if
a
I'm lying,
message.
I'm dying. I sent him a message like 4 or 5 hours later, telling him, bro, I'm still bugging. I was still bugging off of it when I saw the number. Like, and he didn't just show me the number, not the final result. He showed me the breakdown, the P&L for his LLC. And
Yeah.
I was like, so listen, what I'm saying about the ebook is I'm not trying to push his ebook. 2 people in that Discord group is getting that ebook tonight. And I hope they take advantage of it. All right. Brandon, what time do you normally get out? What's your earliest, latest time?
I mean, if we're going pure generic, you know, 7 to 9, 4 to 6, and 9 to 12, and
7
then the
a.m. to 9
variances are
a.m.?
involved in, like I do things pretty differently. I have a whiteboard. I have my whole week planned out, all the events, everything that I'm going to go to outside of my normal working time. I have it all set up. Like, in the next 44 minutes, I'm going to be heading out because the venue a few miles south of me is going to be letting out for NCAA, and
Mm-hmm.
I have all these concerts and stuff all mapped out, and I just work off the demand. I'm 100% against working on a schedule. I just work. I work when I'm needed.
Okay. So your schedule is dependent on events and things like that in your area.
Exactly.
Okay. Omar, what kind of schedule you work? We'll ask Steve when he gets done washing his car. As you can see, he's at the car wash.
All right.
My schedule a little bit like Brandon will fluctuate, but for the most part, generally speaking, I'm overnight. I work the inverse 9 to 5, and if it's busy, I'll continue to be out till 5 or 6 a.m. But if it's slow, I will kind of get closer to my area where I live and just kind of work around there because it can stay busy. And sometimes you start getting airport rides at 3 a.m. So that'll keep me busy for the last couple of hours, even though they'll be short rides. But then again, it changes, right? So when we have big events coming up, I'm not going to name any events, but if we have like any particular event that starts, let's say on a Saturday or a Friday, it might actually start on Wednesday or Tuesday. People get here and things of that nature. So
Right.
then you want to adjust your time. So I try to be flexible. But for the most part, I typically start in the evening, overnight. But if there's something going on, I'll switch. When we're in season, I try to work more hours. Let's say I might do 20 hours a week. When we're in season, I might do 40 hours a week. So it depends on kind of what's going on.
Okay.
But like Brandon too, I also will have my week planned out. You too, Vinny. We talk. Me and Vinny talk offline. We'll know. Hey, there's a concert here. There's an event here. There's this here. Sometimes we try to find things that are off the radar, stuff that Uber and Lyft don't know about. like nobody knows about. Like we have some venues that are way out more
Mhm.
like in the suburbs, and
Mosquito Central.
yeah, and maybe it's only like 1,000 people, but yo, nobody knows about it, and there won't be any drivers out there because they're all at the beach.
Yep. And the one in particular, what I call Mosquito Beach, the one in particular out there, nobody knows about it. And on their website, you'll never see any type of event listing. So it's kind of like, Omar kind of finds it before the rest of us. And yeah, man, we'll hit them. All right. Generally I start my day, well, prior to 3 weeks ago, I would start my day, randomly 5, 6, 7 o'clock at night, and I go out, put in a few hours. But the week before I got sick, and then this week, I've been getting out the door by 3 o'clock, and I'm working 3 p.m. to like 10, 11 p.m., depending on how the flow is going. If there are rides out there and they're meeting my standard, and I'm making some money, then I'll stay out a little longer. But I don't work the early mornings. I have tried to work early mornings. I don't know how many times out here, airport rides, things like they just never work out for me. If I were still on X, I'd probably make a killing. You could probably work the mornings like WeZoom Kyle does out in California. You could probably work 4 a.m. to 9 a.m. here on X and absolutely make a killing and not have to work the rest of the day. I
When
truly believe that.
when it's good, when it used to be good, I would sit here, Rennie. I'd get a ride to MIA, and then I get down to MIA, right, and then I would just make my way over to downtown Miami or Brickell, wherever. Sometimes I have to put a filter on, sometimes I don't, but get a ride right back to Fort Lauderdale, and then right back down to MIA. I mean, it used to be beautiful. It's yeah.
All right. Joseph Velez, he says, this is the gentleman that said he got deactivated, saying, background, I had an old ticket and another issue pop up in the past year. Both were taken care of. The background check people, which I think is Checker, don't get back to you, and Uber won't answer anything either. Bro, that's messed up, dude. That
Yeah.
everybody's customer service, not just Uber and Lyft, bro, but just like
So
in general.
so
Go ahead.
Joseph, on my background check, um, you can't talk to your you can't talk to the foreigners. Um, when you go to the app and you want to talk to somebody, you have to select it a certain way so it goes directly to the one in Cali, and then they answer the phone. Um,
Maybe
man,
maybe Joseph can shoot you a DM. Let him shoot you a direct message. Joe, if you're not getting anything done, reach out to Eddie, via his Instagram or whatnot, or send him an email, and he can probably direct you on how to get through there a
yeah. And by the way, Joseph, you just gotta bug the
little
living
bit easier.
kahunas out of these people. You call them all the time. Be like, hey, whatever. Just keep bugging them. Be nice about it, but just keep bugging them, and then eventually, they'll look at it.
Oh, can you hear me?
Barely. We know you're washing your
Barely.
car though.
Yeah.
Your brother just said it's a boneheaded move. Yeah, it is. It makes no. Oh my, this is what we just talking. It makes no sense to argue with the cops. They're going to win every time, right then and there on
Yeah,
the spot. It
yeah,
makes
yeah.
no sense.
I have argued with cops, but eventually, you move. You give them a little bit of the business, but they're gonna win.
Um, is it sad we are turning on each other for business instead of helping each other?
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure what that's referring to, but okay.
So
Here,
let me comment on that real quick.
okay, what are we talking about? Which comment? Arguing with the
The
cops?
arguing with each other, or what is the thing about each other? Um, I get the whole camaraderie thing, but at the end of the day, we're all independent contractors, and you know, we are all technically competing for rides. There might be plenty of them going around, but we're still competing for these good
Well,
rides.
actually, okay. While I understand that, and I've heard that, that side of the argument several times, I have to say this: you don't have a choice what ride comes to you. So you're not competing for a ride because you have no control of the ride that comes to your app. Does that make sense? So if that's what we're talking about, I'm not sure what we're talking about. But you can't compete with me. I can't compete with you because I can't tell Uber, hey Uber, send me a ride right now. Don't send it to Brandon. Send it to me. I'll do it for $2 less. Like that's not how it works.
Not necessarily that. More or less, it's a surge.
Surge. Okay, explain.
The less drivers that are in the road competing for
But you
rides,
can't
the more
control.
higher the surge is.
Yeah, but you can't control how many drivers are going to be on the road. And don't forget, like I know we've all seen it, right? Where Uber and Lyft, they'll put ghost cars in an area. You might be the only guy there or woman there getting ready to drive. But when you look on the app, it'll show 4 cars in your area. And that's what you see. So I know a lot of people will go and they'll be on their driver app and then they'll go and check the rider app. You don't think Uber and Lyft know you're checking the goddamn app at that particular moment?
Yeah, they know. They know.
They know.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
They know.
Like these people are not stupid.
I mean,
Like
if we were
sometimes-
all getting the same ride request, then everyone would be making, what I make every year, but we don't. So
Well, I mean, I don't know about the competing for business stuff, but I would say this. Like I don't compete with anybody. Nobody's my competition. I'm my own competition. That's the way I live my life. That's the way I've always lived my life. So Brandon, when you come down here, as you say, for Ultra, and you're going to show me how it's done down here, I'm just going to let you know. I'm just going to let you know, my friend, you're not my competition. Trust me on this one. Trust me on this one.
all
Hey,
right.
And I don't mean that in a negative way. I'm just saying you're not my competitor. You're just not. Because I can't control what rides they send to me. Other than platforms, I can choose the platforms. Yeah, I could do that. All right, so let's keep it moving here.
I'll just say one thing, Vinny. Like we can, there is a world where we can all kind of work together. I've been to some events where guys are like kind of pointing fingers at each other, and someone's trying to get into a space, and I just think to myself again, just if we're all here, right? If we're all at the same place, there ain't no difference. So sometimes a little bit of common sense goes a long way. And I'll give you another example, Vinny. The airport, right? Perimeter road, one way, in, one way out, right? I love the drivers. I love the X driver and the Toyota Corolla that's flying down perimeter road and is going around people to get into the airport terminal faster than anybody else. What is that benefiting? How is that benefiting you? We're all going to the same spot where we pick up people, and it's always a mess inside there between 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So stuff like that right there to me is stupid because you're risking your safety and the safety of others for an Uber X ride. Sometimes.
Yeah,
and it's not trucks. It's the Uber X drivers in South Florida. And I don't want this to be I'm saying something bad about Uber X drivers. No, I'm just saying there's a handful of bad ones here in our market. Sometimes, not all the time. Sometimes at the airport or in different places that do things, and that makes me scratch my head because it's like we're all going to the same place. We're all picking up the same.
Yeah. Like I said. And this just kind of goes back to the other thing when they talk about, when people want to go on strike and yada, yada. Nobody's ever going to get on the same page because you can't get on the same page when things are good. How are you going to get on the same page when things are bad? All right. Joseph Valez talking to Fun Trader. Yeah, 100%. On the weekends, hit the ports. Hit the ports. Last Saturday, or was it Sunday? I can't remember what day it was. I think it was Sunday. Yeah, the private client had to drop them off, and then I went to the port. It was nuts. Somebody want to tell Steven he missed a spot on his windshield?
I was about to say something. When he gets back in the car, he gets back in the light. It's like, dude, you missed a spot.
Hey, so Vinny, can we go back to the yesterday real quick?
Oh yeah, hold on. Let me just get through a couple more questions here. Okay, hold on. Yeah, okay. I'll put this question up. Let's go back to yesterday. What do you got, Omar?
So, I was doing a black Excel, right? Right towards when you turned around and you were heading back, I was doing my black Excel, and then I'm sitting in Fort Lauderdale, and long story short, because I didn't want to dead mile from one side of the county to the other side of the county, but it was looking like I had to do that. I called a ride. I had put on a filter and called a ride to about Pine Island, and about halfway to the county.
About halfway. Right.
Yeah, to Pine Island. So then I'm getting to the arena. there's a point to all this, and we talk about this a lot about how much your time is worth and planning things out, right? I said to myself, I don't want to be sitting here at the BB&T doing nothing, because I started thinking to myself, and especially when I got home later on that night after midnight, I said, man, I kind of want to keep working because I want to treat today like Saturday, because we might have, like what Steven just dealt with, maybe possibility people were exhausted as far as financially from the Super Bowl. So that's why LA was maybe dead. And I'm concerned that this weekend we might see a little bit of a this, because we had the Super Bowl and then we had Valentine's, and then it's just, people are, there's only so much money and only so much people are going to go out. So that was my concern. So sometimes you get that pressure in your head. So I'm trying to get to the BB&T because I have my headset on. Then he's talking on the radio and I can hear him giving me good updates, saying, this is what I mean about working together. He's giving good updates. He's saying, hey, listen, I think this contract's getting out right now. And then a few minutes later, I hear you again, Vinny. Oh yeah, this contract's getting out. And I'm dropping these people off. I'm trying to get them the hell out of my car so I can get over there.
Right.
And then when I get over there, dude, you could not get in. Normally I can get in. They switched up everything, man.
Bro, I'm
and
telling
so
you,
I was literally on the street, and Vinny was literally in, there's a curb, and then there's an inside layer, like an inside street. Basically, like, think about a mall that has like a road on the like a road on the inside and the outside. That's where Vinny was, on the outside of the road, and I'm on the actual street. Could not get in. And so, like you said, Vinny's getting the request, and they come to me, and we're just sitting there, $10, $12. Uber's playing games too. Uber had what did they have, Vinny, again? They had like a $10 surge and a $12 surge.
No. So up above us was like $12, $13.
Yep.
Down below us was like $15. We're at the menu and it's giving 8.
Yeah, I know. I gotta look at my screenshots now. It's so stupid. It's so retarded. The way that they draw the map.
So here's my theory, guys. And you guys who go out and drive, you ladies who go out and drive, next time you go to a venue, like a sporting event or something coming out, I want you to take a look at this. Lyft, in my opinion, the lowball offers, the absolutely disrespectful offers they were throwing out to start last night, it's because there were 30 or 40 or 50 drivers there online, and they knew somebody would take it.
Mm-hmm.
Versus if you're in an area somewhere and there's no other drivers around, they're actually giving you the right amount of money for the rides. So they're taking advantage of the cluster of drivers there, knowing somebody's going to take that ride at that price, and they're going to make more money.
No, not only that, I won't take the call. And they'll give it to me again, but even lower.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm saying to myself, some idiot's gonna take it. I'm telling you, some idiot's gonna take it.
Dude,
and I think that's what it is.
We had the premier ride right here, 7670 for 36.5 miles plus the 0.5 miles it's saying. So call it 37 miles. 37 miles. What's 37 and 37? That would be what, 74, right? So this is just above $2 a mile on Premier. This ride should pay out. This ride should pay out over $150. It should pay out double.
And not only that, when you're getting calls like one top of each other, you try to look at the numbers and try to do it really fast, and then you got to make a choice. Like, do you accept it? And then when you get there, you know where it's going. You kind of like, I got screwed.
I was screenshotting everything, and if it was close, I would accept the ride. Look at the screenshot, do the math, and then decide whether I wanted the ride or not. And then I would. So, but
I ultimately settled on that ride. I put it in my video yesterday. It was only a $50 ride. I let $80 rides go by. I let $60 rides go by. I let $70 rides go by because it wasn't making the number. A black XL, 40 miles for $62.
You got a black XL?
Or not XL, a regular black. Lux Black. You saw the Lux Blacks. And this ain't even the one from the past weekend. Again last night. The one going to South Miami. 37 miles.
Oh.
$62.
And by the way, this is with the bonus. We had my Lyft ride. My Lyft ride had $22 attached to it. And by the way, breaking news, as I'm checking Lyft right now, I got a $9 tip. I wasn't expecting I got a tip, and I'm not going to say why because I might offend somebody, but I just wasn't expecting I got a tip. But it gave me a $9.19 tip, so it ends up being $78. Now it ends up being kind of decent, $78.55 for 25 miles. Versus the $80 Boynton Beach ride that would have taken forever. and that was going 42 miles.
Yeah. It's craziness. All right, let's move on.
I went
a little
almost
bit here.
half the distance for the same amount of money. You see?
Yep. All right, so let's move on a little bit here. Is demand decreasing for you guys? Eddie, you see demand decreasing, Brandon?
Okay, so
Eddie?
Uber is not surging anymore in my area unless it's like really busy. They'll surge, but they're baiting. Uber is really baiting here, not Lyft though. Lyft is not baiting for me. Everybody's market is different, so I know, but in mine, Uber is baiting like big time. They put like a $10, and then boom, as you get there, it'll fade away, and it'll just totally disappear. But they're really baiting. Lyft, I've been getting a lot of Lyft XL rides. Lyft, Lyft Black and what is it? Lyft Black and Lyft XL, I think it's what it is. But
It's Lyft Lux, Black XL.
oh, Lyft Lux, or Black XL, I don't know, something black, something black. All right.
What's Black XL?
But that's being in, but not Uber. So Lyft has been early in the morning. I gotta hit the road by like 4 o'clock in the morning for me to hit, be able to do my harvesting strategy with Lyft. If I do it that way, it's a lot easier for me to get off at 8, do my day trading, whatever, and then go back to work and do Uber. But it's been I mean, as you can see, I mean, I put in the same amount of hours and I'm still under 2 grand, and I can't be lazy with it either. I can't be lazy with it, but it has calmed down.
Brandon, has the volume of rides decreased or the volume of good rides decreased?
It's slowly increasing.
This is your off season, right?
Yeah. But the worst of it was in January because it's dry January. I'm still in the middle of dry February, but it's not as bad as January. I have the means to make it through the rest of the month, so I'm not too worried about it. But next month, it's just going to be insane. Next month, I get my chauffeur's license and gonna start leasing a black sedan and start making that Uber Black money.
All right. I'm seeing some. Well, it's hard for me to tell if we're in our season, so to speak. And Mr. Gambit, I see you down there. Yeah, the boat show is here this week. It starts tomorrow down on Miami Beach. That's the big boat show too. 3 locations. I don't know if demands are increasing or decreasing. I'll tell you why. I've never turned down so many rides in my life, so I'm declining so many rides. So I can't tell personally. I'm still making my money, right? But it's taking a little longer to make. So I don't have a real answer for that. Steven, you seen the decreased rides or just decreased decent rides? And Steven's frozen again. Omar, what are you seeing there, buddy?
I'm seeing both. I'm seeing a decrease in good rides and a decrease in rides in general. The reason I say that is because a lot of places, like I like going to the popular places. Sometimes there's a little bit of high traffic or volume, whatever the case may be, and it's just X X X X. I can watch so many X drivers pick up, and it's a little frustrating. And sometimes these people are committing fraud. They're straight up, five people getting into these little cars. So it is what it is.
Big Jeff in the house. We seen you today, bro. We
Yeah,
seen
we
you,
were
Jeff, on
listening.
RideShare Guys. We seen the video. We know you're making some money, bro, doing your thing. We're so proud of you and so happy for you. We appreciate you. The invite's there, bro. That door is always open.
Oh, by the way,
Always
the
open.
Discord is open the top in the corner. Just scan the bar,
Yeah.
baby.
All right. So if
Yeah.
you're
So
interested in
and
the
the good rides too, Vinny. I mean, like we should be. I was expecting last night to be nothing but Lux Black, and I mean, maybe I should have been down in Miami instead of wasting time at that concert. I don't know.
No, I think it was. It's like I said, bro. My theory, and I'm obviously we're going to be able to test it out more. I think the theory is if there's a cluster of drivers, Lyft's going to lowball you. If there's not a cluster of drivers, you're probably going to get exactly what you should get. And that's what I think. That ride I took, remember now when I told you guys last night on the radio about the ride to Naples, right? It was the base ride was 159, 95 miles, 81 minutes. And you guys were scrambling, even though I already knew the numbers, it was kind of hard to, get that to you to tell you, look, the ride's actually paying what it's supposed to be paying per the old rate card. Actually, it should have been 155 and it was 159. And then the ride wound up paying out 166 plus all the tips. But actually, it wasn't the tips, it was the tolls. Remember, it's 375, 375, 750 in tolls. So it paid what it was supposed to pay without question. It wasn't a lowballed offer. So when I think there's a cluster or if there's a trip they want you to take, they're going to pay you right. But if you're hanging out with 15 other people, 20 other people, airport queue, concert venue, they're going to lowball the shit out you. So you got to be on your P's and Q's there.
Sounds like somebody went online. I heard it.
Oh, is that Brandon? Yeah, it's that time, bro.
It's
That
always
time, bro.
in that case. It's always Brandon's fault. See,
Charmander, what's up, bro?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Mr. Gambit. That's right. The Miami Boat Show is here.
I just find it that it's just not as busy because, dude, I was in Hammershey the other day watching people get into fights with the Fort Lauderdale PD. Seriously, it's kind of funny actually. And I mean, I must have sat there for an hour and a half, not even an XL ping.
They're taking X. People ain't got no money, bro.
By the way, someone asked how much money did I make.
I saw that. I wasn't gonna let that go out on. I'm not. It ain't my business. Bro.
I'm working very hard. Let's put it this way. It's last year I made a little bit over 100K. This year I was very, very close to doubling that. But again, that's ride sharing on top with my affiliates and all the additional income that I make. But I was very close. But again, remember, when you own a business, you also have the expenses. So take that into consideration. And I don't like to be giving Uncle Sam a lot of my money. So I like to spend a lot on my business.
So
little trick of the trade.
You're
A little trick of the trade.
You're gonna leave it at that. They want to know.
Yeah, I know they want to know.
But FBI, open up. It's coming.
I mean, I filed everything. Everything has been filed, so it's not like I'm lying. But dude, when my CPA sent me the piece of paper, Vinny was surprised, and I'm going like this. I was like, fuck. I was like, dude, you know how much that is in taxes? I was like, damn it. And then I'm looking through my list of all my expenses, because that's what I like to do. I was like, let's just spend the money. I mean, if you're gonna, okay, it's good to save. It's good to save, but instead of saving it, take the money and reinvest it somewhere else. So you're actually spending it, but you're not. You're just reinvesting it somewhere else. So you put it somewhere else, and then it makes you money back.
All right. So
I'm telling you.
Whoa, Ron, he's actually live. He's with us.
Yeah, I saw him there, and he's frozen already.
Damn.
Damn it, Ron.
So Wes says I wouldn't even do that ride on UberX, and you know what? That's interesting. It was a Lyft Lux ride. It was $160 to go 95 miles. And you say, okay, well, what about the return trip? Well, you know what? On the return trip, I had both apps on, destination filters set, coming all the way back across. And I just took the standard mileage tax deduction I'm going to get out of it. It's going to count towards my taxes at the end of the year. It was a slow night. We know it's slow. And the time showed me that I could get my if I hustled, I didn't have to break any laws. I drive, speed limit 70 on Alligator Alley. No alligators, no turtles, no pythons, no nothing running across the street, no bobcats jumping on top of my sunroof. I was good, wide open. Saw one cop going. Same cop was there when I came back. And I knew I could make it back to make it because I came back. I still made another $100 after I got back. So I get it. It's up to each individual what rides they'll take and they won't take. But for me, it was a $45 tip. It was a $200 ride. So for 3.5 hours, 3.5 hours, I made $215. I mean, and my mileage was covered. And it cost me almost nothing. Well, I can't say it didn't cost me nothing in gas. 200 miles to me cost me about, let's see, I get 24 miles to the gallon, blah, 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 blah. So it cost me like $25 in gas. All right. So I made $190 on the trip. Not a problem. Oh, and that person will be converted to a private. Yeah, that was the other part. I didn't want to go there. All right. So let's see what else we got. Lyft says, or Vito says, Lyft sent me the same request 4 times today. It was an XL call. Omar, this is what we were talking about. This is after I went there and it was a no-show. And the farther I drove away, each request got lower and lower. Really? You got further away from it and they were reducing the, boy, I tell you.
Oh, I gotta read this.
Go ahead, because I got to keep it moving, but go for it. They're not going to let you
Yeah,
off.
I get the same thing, but it's Uber that does it to me. Uber is the one that does it to me. That's it. Everybody's market is different. So Lyft here, it does good. They pay good. You know.
So what he's saying is, well, what that person was saying was that person said that they showed up for an XL, they canceled, and then they got the request again.
As he was driving away.
Yeah.
And now the price came in lower.
And just so everyone that's watching, either you're new to rideshare or wondering what we're talking about, or you do rideshare for a long time, you might understand why you would drive away from that ride. Once you've canceled and they get you again, that is just going to be the worst ride. Most likely, it's going to be awkward. Why did you cancel on me? That's a 1-star waiting to happen. So get out of there.
Listen, I have never, ever, ever taken a ride after I canceled them.
Nope.
Never. Wasn't going to happen. All right.
I took a ride, but I never started it. I just sat there.
Huh?
Yeah, I accepted a ride and I just sat there. And then they would cancel, and then they would get me again. And then I would sit there. They would cancel. They would get me again. And I would sit there, and they would cancel.
Oh, I see what you're saying. You know what?
You got the cancellation fee?
What the hell? What the
hell?
Boy,
isn't that kind of Fight Club-ish? I don't know.
No, it's not Fight Clubbish. I mean, listen, he was
if
at
I'm
the
only
spot.
if I'm the only driver in the area for that ride type, and they're gonna make me wait 7 minutes, and I have to cancel, then they can go shove it.
Oh, okay. I was thinking something.
He ain't
else.
doing nothing wrong there.
Yeah. No.
I was thinking
The first time I got the ride, I waited 7 minutes, and I canceled, and then as I was leaving, I got the request again. I accepted it, but this time I didn't do shit. I waited until they canceled. And then I got the request again, and I accepted it. I knew who it was. I kept doing that until eventually they gave up, because I didn't get them again after like the 4th time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, listen, if they're gonna keep ordering, and you keep accepting, and they keep canceling, but you're not doing anything wrong. That's not his normal. What the other guy call it? Shady mafia stuff. That's actually legit. That's legit.
Hey,
all right,
that's just things I talk about that publicly. There are other things that go on in the background.
All right, let's see. There's more questions here before we get into the next thing.
Woo.
Well, first of all, we got to get the first ebook. Let's give away the first ebook.
Vinny, give Sergio the link.
Give what?
Give Sergio the link.
For?
Sergio's asking for the link.
Oh,
for which link?
To
join the stream.
Live stream.
Oh, to join the live stream. All right, Serge, give me a minute. Let me get this. So the first person, this is from last week. If you joined tonight, it's going to be a little tough, but we'll try to get one in there. The first one is going to go to Ashley Hates Lyft in the Discord. So, Ashley, if you're watching the show, welcome. Hit me up. I'll DM you.
Scan the barcode, and then Vinny is going to give you the coupon code, and you get it for free.
That's it. If not, I'll catch you in the Discord, and we'll get you that. We'll get you that code.
And
right,
if you want to add into this, they can read the book, and they can contact me on my IG, and then because I love talking about my book, though, that it's so easy. All right. I'll give them like 20 minutes. I'll give them like 20 minutes of me talking and explaining the book and the strategies.
Oh, so wait a minute. Not only, no. Okay, so you're going to give them the book, right? Well,
no, you're going to give them the book.
I'm paying for the book, right? We're giving them the book, and then you're going to give them a 20-minute consultation.
Yeah.
Bro, I'd join a Discord in a heartbeat for that. All right, so Ashley Hates Lyft, you are the first recipient, and we'll do the last one before we end the show tonight. LA Market Light
Congratulations.
Rides has completely changed to mediocre $12 to $18 rides on XL, doing more rides, still hitting my minimum target, but putting a lot of extra miles and driving 2 hours more average.
Yeah,
So, kudos.
yeah. This is a problem. This is my problem, Benny.
So go for it, Omar. Take it. Go.
No, yeah, it's a problem because we have different strategies, and I think we're going to talk about that probably in the next segment or one of our segments. And again, to Vinny's point, I don't feel like I'm competing with anybody. Different strokes for different folks. I do sometimes get a little over enthusiastic about working smarter, not harder. But to the question before about are you seeing better rides or less quality rides? This is what I'm talking about. I feel like I know where some of the quality rides are, and it's like I used to just get rides everywhere, and now I find myself saying that just the other night, just last night, I was saying to myself, I want to keep working. Let me just head down to downtown Miami. Like I was gonna roll 14, 15 miles south on Biscayne to downtown Miami, and that's what I find myself doing more. And I'm not a big fan of dead miling. And for anybody that doesn't understand that terminology, dead miling is when you're online, when you're working, and you just go from one place to another place without a passenger in your car. Because if you think like us on this panel, when you're in your car, you should be making money. That's the ideal strategy, obviously, and it's not always possible. So I would say you're going to have to, as Vinny says, pivot, try to figure out maybe a different strategy, figure out a different time to work, figure something out that's different, because it's got me scratching my head. And it's been the most frustrating thing is how to cut down on the dead miling, because I don't want to. I mean, Vinny, you go to your spot on Saturdays, and I'm like, shit, I might have to start following you. And to go to your spot's 25 miles.
Whoa, don't be following me. Don't be following me.
You're much more reasonable than Vinny. So let me ask you this.
We're going to go into the next question now.
Will you please go to Miami this weekend? Use Para and turn on UberX.
Oh yeah. I meant to use Para last night because I knew it was going to be a little bit of a mess. But yeah, I want to go to Miami this weekend. I'm hoping I do. I mean,
I'll be
because
in
when you
Miami
have
this weekend. The boat
when
show
you have
there,
when you have events like this, people are going to go back and forth to Fort Lauderdale, and those are phenomenal rides. And sometimes you get them on Lux Flex. Those are even better rides. So those are I don't want the short rides.
Let me pause you there, man. You don't want long rides. You want those short 3 to 4 mile rides that are paying like $7 or $8 a mile. That's what you're looking for in Para.
Yeah, but okay. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah.
Eddie, did you short Lyft stock last week when price was down 35%? Did you, Eddie? Eddie, did you? What did you do with Lyft stocks when we were all preparing for earnings and we knew it was going to be a disappointment, brother? What did you do? Sergio, by the way, I sent you the link. Eddie.
It's Vinny's fault,
Oh, come on. Man. Come on.
Okay,
now.
Look. We always say that you can't really make a career out of rideshare, and you always gotta always find your way out. So I just started like really getting into day trading. I've done it before, but this time I'm really focused because I really want to leave ride sharing and day trade for a living. But this opportunity that Vinny was talking about, he's like, oh yeah, I'm just shorting Lyft, bought a couple of puts for the earnings, He was not very enthusiastic about it. So I was like, all right, good for you,
I've been putting it in videos. I've been talking about it on the live stream. I've been saying I'm gonna get my money from Lyft. I'm gonna get my money from Lyft. I'm gonna get my money from Lyft. And I got my goddamn money from Lyft.
Yeah. I think you calculated it 4,000%.
I'm not saying another word after that. You know why? FBI, open up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
87,000 new agents. No, hey,
the fuck up.
We ain't talking about that, bro.
But no. No, I was not. I'm learning. Okay, I'm learning. That's why That's why That's why the channel is live, and people can come in. They can throw in their 2 cents and stuff. If they see something, we'll look at it. You
Mhm.
know, because we're learning. And if opportunity comes up and we happen to trade it, and then we make money on it, yeah, you know. But
All right.
I could.
So
Yeah, I missed
Brandon,
out.
you want it, Brandon. I tell you what, Brandon, I want to do this. I want to do this because I got to find a
Do
way to
what?
flip your negative ass into a positive situation. You are going to be my cross to bear for the next week. After that, I'm not going to do it again. Okay.
What do you mean?
You are now going to be my cross to bear.
The fuck does
First,
that mean?
we can agree that different people, different strokes, different folks. Correct. Just a generalized statement. Correct. Different
Yes,
people.
there is a hierarchy. Yes.
No, I didn't say nothing about a goddamn hierarchy. I just said different people do things differently, and that's okay. Do you agree with me? Yes or no? Because
I
I'm going to tell you something, and I'm going to say it like this, and I'm going to say it, and it's going to be on the interwebs. This is going to be an evergreen moment, and I'm going to make a short out of it tomorrow. And I'm going to have Eddie and Omar posted all over social media. Okay. My way's not always the right way, but brother, your way ain't always the right way either. With that said, you want Omar to try para at the boat show. So explain to Omar what you would like him to try.
Is to turn on all ride types, be in an area where you're getting 10 plus ride requests a minute, and set your filters pretty high to start out with, like $15 minimum order, $2 a mile, $60 an hour, and just let it sit um and see what you get, and just again, this is the reason why I have a 2% acceptance rate, because 98% of the rides I get are bad, but you
Right.
know those rides that come in that I show you sometimes, $28 for 11 minutes. I'm not getting those just out of the blue. I'm getting those because I'm hunting specifically for those. Because
Right. And I don't
I value my mileage very high.
so I don't have a problem with any of that. I'm just saying that and we seem to have this conversation every week is that some people that works for it in densely populated areas. But again, Omar, let me ask you a question. And this is for any market. Like Steven, you can chime in on this. Eddie, you can chime in on this. Anybody in the comments, I'm
I
getting to
want to
the
know what Steven made. That's what I want to know.
well, we're gonna get there in
Made.
about 2 minutes.
Okay.
We're gonna get there in about 5 minutes, Steven. Start the count.
Oh, he's in the studio, Luther Vandross.
Don't you remember you told me you love me, baby?
Oh, that's smooth.
You said you be coming back this way.
Okay, thumb down the video. Thumb down the video.
Okay, yeah.
Hey,
we,
man,
we're
y'all
gonna
don't
we,
get
we're gonna get hit with a copyright, Benny. Stop it.
no, because I don't sound nowhere near like Luther. Trust me on that one, bro.
Well,
Do your guys' cancellation rates go up when you click accepted by mistake option on Uber?
Yes.
I don't know.
does.
Never looked at that.
Mine does, yes.
All right. Omar, what kind of traffic you think we're going to have out there? And then Eddie, this next question is going to be good for you because you're going to be in the Brandon. This is going to be the same situation, right? So South by Southwest. When is that, Eddie, in your market?
Oh
City
wow, that's a
limits
good
and all
question.
that.
Hold on, I'm
All
gonna
right.
look that up.
Yo, South by Southwest is a cool event. I'd actually love to go to that.
Oh well, hey, let's see when it is. Omar, how do you think the traffic's going to be on Miami Beach at the boat show this weekend?
I mean, it's going to be brutal because it's inside. It's where is it at the same spot where it always is, right across the street from Fountain Blue.
You're going to have it right at the Fountain Blue. That's the
Right,
Salon.
the Fountain Blue, where where you're on that island, one way in off of 41st Street. Yeah, take a guess how that traffic's going to be.
You're also going to be in front of the convention center, around the convention center. Everything will be jammed up, and then you also got to over by Bayside.
And the police are going to do what they always do, which is this stupidity. I shouldn't say they always do this. They do it more for certain types of events, which to me is kind of effed up. But I suspect that they'll at some point in time they'll have a checkpoint set up, which all it does is it doesn't stop you from getting onto the beach or getting off the beach. It'll be on one side of the road or the other. It just slows you down. And time is money, as we know.
Oh, and by the way, James, for the South by Southwest, man, Nobody need my strategy ebook for that. All you have to do is just cancel everything but the good one or the good ones. Cancel, 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 cancel. Don't take nothing until you get a good one.
You mean don't accept? That's what you mean.
Oh, well, correct. That's right. I'm sorry. Don't accept. Don't accept anything until a good one comes out.
In the words of
You hear that,
Sergio,
Vinny?
don't
You hear
accept
that, Vinny?
garbage.
Your acceptance
What's
rating might
that?
tank this weekend.
My acceptance rating? Would you like to know
Yeah.
what my acceptance rating is right now?
What is it now?
Hold on. I'll show you right now. I'll tell you right now. Beyond, trust me, it's a legit thing, bro. Stop.
Yes, congrats,
my
Ashley.
Hey, Vinny, how is Ashley gonna reach you?
I've already let her know in the Discord. That's my
okay.
acceptance rating right now on Uber.
That's
Okay.
pretty high, Vinny.
It's
What
pretty
is it?
high
I can't
for
see it.
who? For who?
For
It's
you.
pretty- Just because you get a bunch of knucklehead rides doesn't mean I get a bunch of knucklehead rides, Brandon.
49%.
That's pretty
Okay.
high.
Hey, hold on. Oh, y'all just damn pretty. Okay. Y'all gonna hate on me? For that
I'm
too,
just
Steve?
nothing
gonna hate
against
on
it.
me
I'm just
for that
saying the
too?
number's high when I'm down in the single digits.
No. Are y'all gonna hate on me for this too?
Uh-huh.
I'm
Dara
not
loves
hating.
that. Dara loves
I'm-
that.
I am not hating on it.
Now all you need to
Jesus
do is
Christ.
increase your acceptance rating by another 40%, and you can get that $450 bonus.
I know. Get that diamond.
Come on, Vinny.
Cancellation rate.
Get that down to 2%, man. You can do it. You can
Oh
get
my
that extra
God.
bonus.
Y'all killing me, bro.
Get
Killing
that
me.
diamond status, bro.
Oh my God.
Get after it.
Oh my God. This is what I come here
Diamond.
for every week. You know that,
Someone's
right?
got to be a
Y'all
diamond
know
driver
it.
in the group, and it's you, Vinny.
Right. I
Not only
nominate
that,
Vinny.
oh,
Yes.
and another thing too, I think you know how Uber has the Uber has like you can put like 5 stops in there. I have noticed that it looks like the riders are realizing that when you add stops, they're less likely to get a ride. So they'll order a regular ride and then they'll add the stops while I'm there, and they've done that to me a couple of times. And I
Yeah.
feel like canceling, be like, get out my car.
See, now
Oh,
Ron's
I'm
blaming
doing
me
that.
again.
I,
It's always
I
my
had
fault.
some of that. But that also got me a really good ride because he took 5 minutes to get his ticket to what was it to the waste management. So I think it was like a $60-something ride became $170 or something like that.
Oh man, all right. Lyft beat its earnings top and bottom. They collapsed because of the guidance drop, saying they will have lower expectation. Yes, exactly. But they even though they did okay, you know, they got some as my friend Sergio would say, it's that fuzzy math. And that's a
yeah.
real thing when you start digging
I
into
don't know
that.
how the hell he figures that stuff out.
Bro, he did
I
it
mean,
for 30 years. He just yelled at me, by the way, in the text group.
Mm.
He just yelled at me. He just said, I'm out of sight, out of mind. That's how it is now. I'm like, what are you talking about? Send him the link. See, you know.
Well, I'll let him
By the
know.
way, Omar.
You're almost there, Omar. 20%. You can do it.
Richard
Yeah.
Berger says,
Just
anybody
decline
keep his
7,000
day
more
job
rides.
about my singing. But do you know what Richie just did, Omar?
No,
Yeah.
I missed it.
No, he just did it. He pulled the trigger. It's being shipped from Arkansas.
Oh shit! That well, he probably. Oh, it's being shipped. That's good because he was telling me that he wanted me to go out there. He's like, yeah, I'll have you go out there. and drive
Our
it
friend
back."
Richie Berger just picked up a new 2023 Xfinity. God damn it! I don't know why I keep calling them Xfinities. But that's
Xfinity.
my cable company, bro. What do you
You can
want?
install a cable?
Xfinity.
Yeah, you know. Look who's all the way from Ireland. My man Paul is in the house. He joins us every morning on the live streams when we're trading. It sounded like because the
Hey.
Carpenters originally sang the song, bro. I know a lot of these young bucks don't know about that. All right, let's see. I'm coming through. All right. Steve, man, talk to us, bro. About
Yeah,
the Super
Steve,
Bowl.
dude, come
I
on.
was hoping Jeff was going to be
We
here.
want to know what we missed out on, so we can kick ourselves.
So you can kick yourself while you're down. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you guys
Speak
did
for
great
yourself,
for
Eddie.
Valentine's Day. So
Huh?
you know.
Finally caught up on the comments. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, it was a great experience. I had some crazy stuff going.
It was slow in the beginning, right?
No snow. Oh yeah, it was super slow. Yeah, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all slow. I was basically kind of surviving off of X, just paying off the days that I was staying there, really, and experiencing the market.
And then
boom. Boom, yeah, Thursday hit, and it was just money opportunities everywhere. I literally didn't take advantage of as much as I could have. At the end of the whole thing, I was able to make $4,000, but I mean, I could have easily exploded past that. Yeah, there was private rides left and right, people walking up to your car asking you if you were available, easily willing to pay you $100, this, that and the other. Let's see. I was able to meet multiple people that were from California, exchange contact information and everything. Talking about, I would love to be in your car for red carpet events, and I'm like, what does that mean? So,
how did you rate your how did you rate your private rides?
So normally what I do is I do like $80 an hour with a minimum of 3, but depending on the ride, like airport trips and stuff like that, depending on the mileage. So, or I'm sorry, how much time it was going to take to get there. I had a ride that was 20 minutes. I charged $100 for it. I had another ride where I was waiting for them and taking them back to their hotel. I charged $120 on that one and $120 in the morning because she had an appointment to go and do someone's hair. Yeah, I mean, it really just came down to what the distance was going to be or how long it was going to take for me to do the trip.
Yeah.
But I got paid well above what I needed for my time.
Nice.
Yeah, it was so
How long
sweet.
were you out there for?
So I started Friday the 6th, was it? So because I came in Friday the week before to make sure that the apps were going to work. As you know, in our lives, we had some people saying that they could easily go back and forth and they didn't have to change anything. Will you get your claws out of me? Thank you.
Oh wait, this South by Southwest is the first time that I have an XL.
Ooh. X rides come in pretty often, but I mean XLs. But yeah, so I had problems with getting onto the app and everything, but by Saturday night, I was able to use both of the apps. I had to go back and forth with Lyft. They were more of a problem than anything. And once I dealt with them, then Uber, I called them. They made the switch. That was fine. I just had to do the trainings all over again. Like I said, Monday through Wednesday was kind of slow. I got a few black rides, and the best part of the experience is that the airport over in Arizona lets you go through without having livery plates. So I'm able to do Lux Black and go straight to the terminal, pick up. It was amazing. And then the roads over there are so much smoother than here in California. We got potholes and all kinds of stuff over here, but the roads are smooth. I got to see some of the area.
Okay?
So even when they have traffic, their traffic moves because they built wide streets and they built wide, if you get what I mean. Like they instead of going high, they spread everything out, which makes it so much easier to get around places. It was awesome. I mean, I could see the weather was pretty cool, except for the first few days when I was sitting at the airport, and the sun's beaming down. And people ask me all the time with the Tesla, because it's a glass roof, is it super hot in the car? That really has, if anything, sitting in that car with the glass roof is cooler than sitting in with a metal roof, because you have to remember metal's going to retain heat. And the glass is gonna the way it's designed, it repels it, and then it doesn't keep it.
Sunlight doesn't get in. It's just that the glass gets hot.
Right. Well, so it's bouncing the UV and everything off.
Correct. Yeah, it's bouncing all the light off. It's just that you feel it because
but it takes most of it off. It wasn't an issue, and so being out there, the weather was pretty good. And then it started cooling down as people started coming in. So then by Friday, which was my biggest day, I made 1,000 right off the bat. I could have made a lot more, but the Lyft application started bugging out on me. So as it started bugging out on me, then it wouldn't give me rides. I literally would drop down to Lyft and have everything on it, and I wouldn't get rides. So then I was like, okay, well, and I didn't take that as an opportunity to think, okay, just go straight private and go back to the hotspots where I know all these people are standing there waiting, because in Scottsdale and Old Town, which are right by each other, or Old Town's inside Scottsdale, there was people that were going to all kinds of events and whatnot, and they were walking up and down this street looking for rides. People willing to cancel their requests just so they can get out of there. So yeah,
That's the
amazing.
best. That right there is the best. That's when you are negotiating from a position of strength.
Oh, 100%. 100%. And then, I mean, the car basically sold. I mean, it's crazy because here I'm used to seeing Teslas all over the place. That's kind of like a California staple almost. There's Teslas everywhere. Over there,
like Priuses, right?
Yeah, almost like Priuses. Over there, it's funny. When you go to the charging locations, there's a lot of Teslas. But mostly, in most cases, I only see wealthy with Teslas or people from out of the state. When I drive around and pick people up, like they're so shocked that I have a Tesla and they're asking me questions and saying how nice it is and everything. So I had a bonus there because it's more rare. Not only if they did get picked up, they probably got picked up in a Model 3, not a Model Y, and they weren't used to it. And then of course they love the white leather seats, which Uber, I mean, make white seats are premium. Let me use that for for Uber Black. But anyway.
Did you see Vito wants to know, he says, hey Jeff and Steven, was there any Waymo vehicles giving rides?
I don't know what those are.
Those are the Google autonomous rides. Google.
Oh, I did not. I don't know, but I did see some weird vehicles with like cameras all over them. On top, a couple of times. Yeah, on top and on the sides.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I don't know if that was it, but I saw a few of those vehicles.
Yeah, sometimes what they're doing is they're scanning the roads and they're performing, beta testing and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
We see them in Miami. We see them in Miami now. We're seeing them in more places. At least I'm seeing them in more places. But it used to just be primarily Miami because the roads are very square, like the design of the roads and everything.
Right.
So I want to get this comment in there. I'm going to give it a big shout. Might be the comment of the night. Steven went off.
Thank you, Beyond. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you.
Proved a lot of haters wrong by end of the week. And he did, bro. So what was your if you don't mind me asking, bro?
What was hating?
What was the grand bro? The haters, I kick them to the curb. What was the grand total for the week, bro, for your time out there? Did you do a total?
So it was like just over $4,000 because I had a bunch of private rides which were a bunch of hundred.
I gotta play your theme song, bro.
Oh yeah, Metal Gear, I love it. Yeah, so I mean, I cleared over $4,000. I had to pay one grand of it back because I had the Airbnbs, but it didn't cost me as much as I thought. And then counting in the fuel and the Airbnbs took out about $1,000, so I got to pocket $3,000 coming back.
Bro, that is.
But
this is Steven right now.
It's all singles, please.
This is Steven right now.
I still have the 20
right now.
I still have the 20s and hundreds. I still have the 20s and hundreds sitting in the center console of my car.
Damn haters. Haters.
Listen, Steve. Listen.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be a guy, so I hope I don't offend. I hope I don't offend anybody. I gotta do it. One of us gotta do it, bro. How was the
No, we're not gonna have that conversation. No, okay, more questions.
So that was over. That $4,000. That $4,000 was over the entire time, but remember that I wasn't really making much on the first several days. And I'm about to put a video out that shows all my breakdown. But Friday, like I said, was my biggest day where I made 1,000. A few of the other days I made like 800, 700. And the apps altogether, I think it came out to like 3,000 something. And it's in a video. I'm working on it, but my phone ran out of storage, so I couldn't compile. What do you call it? Whatever.
Zeros.
Yeah, so I couldn't compile it, so I have to remove some stuff so I can compile it on my phone and then put it out. But it gives my entire breakdown of the week. But yeah, at Super Bowl Sunday, I really messed up. I could have made more money there. I waited around the arena for too long. I didn't take rides when people first started popping up and they needed to get to the airport and they were trying to get out of the area. I should have left and went back to Scottsdale because everybody was going back to party in Scottsdale, which I could have just kept going back and forth and picking up those rides. Like Vinny said in his video, you got to work the hotspots. You come to the hotspots, you're going to be able to come in and get good rides. drop people off, come right back. It's your staple location, and there were a few of them that I came across, but I just didn't take as much advantage of them as I could. But they're worth the money.
So I don't understand something. Who was actually hating? Because this is a real question. I'm being real here because we'll debate a lot of things, and now we have the Discord going. And if anybody joins the Discord, and Eddie said he put the link in the chat, so I would definitely do that and thumbs up the video. We talk a lot and joke around a lot, and we also have lighthearted debates in the Discord. And so I just think to myself, if I could have found a way to go to Arizona as well, but the math just didn't add up personally for me. But for Steven, being one state away, you took advantage of an opportunity.
Oh yeah.
Isn't that kind of what this show is about? I
That
don't
was,
understand who would be hating.
100%, James.
Well,
100%, James. I will be writing all that stuff off.
Well, and now this little statement right here brings me back into what was asked in the Discord earlier today, right? When it comes to taxes. Listen, I'm no tax consultant. I don't know squat about taxes. I hand
I'm
them
gonna
off.
get a CPA. I need one.
So
Yeah.
I hand them
so do
off.
I.
Well,
So do I.
this year, I'm going to need one down here for sure.
Mhm.
This year.
Yeah.
But Eddie can speak to this a little bit simply because, Mr. Moneybags over here, he's got it going on over there.
Oh yeah.
But he uses a CPA, and his CPA is awfully expensive. But he can tell you best that, Eddie, right? All of this stuff is tax deductible.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. Depending on the type of LLC that you open. So I have a driver LLC. So when you want to pick your LLC, you want to make sure that you pick an LLC that best fits what you're doing. So I opened mine as a driver. I'm a chauffeur. Driver. So I can only deduct anything associated with me driving. So I bring my own meals, right? I prep my own meals. I can't deduct those. I can only deduct if I eat at restaurants. But if my LLC was a business consulting, which is basically what I do, I can deduct almost everything. Again, then you can open an LLC as a content creator, and you can deduct everything on that, just as long as it's in your content. As long as it's in your content. Yep. And again, this all goes to your CPA. That's what I'm saying. Don't incorporate until you talk to your CPA, or you can just open your business. Okay, you can open an LLC, but don't categorize what type of business you're going to be doing. Let your CPA do that, because then your CPA is going to be like, okay, look, do this one because you can deduct all these things. That's how I was able to deduct, like, with all the money that I made this year. It's a good thing that I had an LLC and I had a lot of deductions.
And here come the questions. They're going to start coming again. Eddie, what was the number? Eddie, what was the number? Eddie, what was your number? Don't tell your number. That's up to you to tell your number, but you keep bringing up the number, so people are going to start asking about the number. I'm just saying, bro.
Everybody wants to know about the number, because the number
Yeah,
is just,
want to know about the number. He told you he damn near double what he made last year, and he made 100,000 last year. That's all I'm saying. All right. Well, it's 10:18. I've got the second ebook giveaway. And listen, so everybody knows, man, I got a hat over there. I just pulled the names out because we only had like 6 or 7 people join in the last week. The second person is going to be Nithane. He just joined, I guess, yesterday or today. But Nithane, you are number 2 on the winner for the second ebook giveaway. And yeah. Next week we'll do it again, possibly. I don't know, because this stuff's going to start costing money, bro. I can't be doing all that. But anyway, so we have
I'll put up the money for it.
By the way, any issues with getting the ebook, just let us know and I will fix it really quick. Vinny's gonna give you the code. All right. And then but any issues, just let us know and we'll fix it really quick.
Who's the winner, Vinny?
Oh,
Ethan.
Oh, I hear a pool ride. Let that pool ride, Brandon.
Get that pool ride. Joe, so thanks for the congratulations. And I'm also going to be doing an early morning shift. So I'm switching up strategies and trying to utilize the morning as much as possible, because I can make a lot of money in the morning for black rides into the airport.
Sweet. Randy wants to know: did Chicago Lux Driver, aka the shady mafia boss in Chicago, did he have a good Super Bowl week, or did he stay at home and play? Dude, I don't want to disrespect whatever game you play. Mario Kart. He plays Mario Kart. That's his game.
Mario
I
Kart
mean,
is a nice
the reality
game.
is I didn't do well as Steven, but yeah, I did well enough. But yeah, I didn't make as much as I wanted to, but I have to understand that Chicago is affected by people who have a New Year's resolution to not drink for the first 2 months of the year. So, I uh, I got about
FBI, open up!
between private rides and regular rides, I got about like 300 to 400
I like
a day.
Nice.
Not terrible, but not bad. Yeah, pretty
Richard,
decent, but
Richard
could've
says
been
it
better.
best. I'm gonna show him real quick. There we go. Oops. There we go. Ah,
This furthers my point about
Yeah.
There we go.
let me see.
there you go.
Pennywise,
True.
dollar foolish.
Mhm.
The accountant saves you a lot of money in the long
Yeah.
run.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
It,
I had a lot of expenses. Everything funnels through my bank account.
See,
And
this
my bank account flows right through QuickBooks. Oh, QuickBooks. You know what? I got to put a little for QuickBooks. A QuickBooks, best thing you can get to keep track of everything. The majority of CPAs, they use QuickBooks. They know how to navigate it, and they can do everything really quick. Um, but Matt, hey Matt, where are you, Matt? Hold on, Matt. Yeah, dude,
Uh-oh.
you're pretty
Uh-oh.
close. You're pretty close.
Uh-oh.
Pretty
what
close.
You guys
happened?
ready? You guys
Okay.
ready? You guys ready? I got to bring on the guy. Get ready to bring on the guy. Here he comes. Here he comes. 3,
Oh,
2.
I get it. I get it.
Bro,
everybody's cancellation rate just went down.
Yeah.
I get it.
Except Vinny's.
Yeah. Exactly.
oh, come on, man. God damn.
I get
Did
it. I get it.
did you see that, Sergio? Did you see his what is it? His acceptance rate? How high it is? I mean, where it's
Really?
at?
Really? Really?
I had to.
He's going for diamond. Sergio, he's going for diamond. Legit.
Yeah.
Like
He's going after that
49%.
$350, huh? Uber Pro.
Yeah,
Driver,
yeah.
after the $350. Yeah.
I don't like you guys no more.
We put a nickname on him now. For Vinny Formica Jeff. I mean Vinny Formica Carl. Sorry.
I'll put myself in timeout. Hold on.
Aw.
Formica. Okay,
Wow.
now Steven, why is your name Vinny Cuz, buddy?
Oh, because so I'm gonna fix it right now, but the reason why is because this is his channel. This is his what is it? Restream.
It's our restream. No,
Well-
stop. It's our restream.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. Listen, bro, this is a goddamn team. I wish y'all would get on the goddamn program.
I agree 100%. But you created the account. Yeah. So
That I do.
so
I pay for it. Just-
so he created the account, and so in order for me to manage it, he gives me control, but for whatever reason on my computer it doesn't save my name. It uses his. So for me to be able to throw up the chats and everything so that I can kind of alleviate some of the stuff that he's managing in the background.
Too much
Like you see, in order to do that, it keeps popping up his name, so I just have to change it every time I log in, and I didn't do it this time. Yeah.
I hear
All
no
right,
but
good
excuses.
explanation. I'll take Steven's explanation, Vinny.
Okay. Well, I have no choice. I have to take it all. So listen,
No.
Sergio.
Yes, sir.
I know you guys were having a blast earlier. Great show, by the way, bro. And especially the interview with Jeff and the interview you did with Steven. If you guys
Thank
didn't
you.
check out the video, we're gonna link it up. Steve, you want to throw that link up so they can see that
Yes,
interview
sir.
with you and
Yeah,
you
do
and
it.
Sergio, and then we'll link up the one with Jeff as well for tonight. I mean, excellent interviews, bro. And they're not throwing you no softball questions.
No,
Yes.
it was like
You
the
guys didn't
spur of
get
the moment
softball.
kind of a thing because it's tough to get a hold of this guy in Arizona. So I was like, okay, you want to do it at like 11 p.m.? He goes, no, I'm still driving. I'm like, okay, tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I was trying to get as much as I could.
Yeah, man,
I
you
just
got
want to know,
whatever you wanted.
Sergio.
Yes, sir.
Sergio, how come you didn't throw Steven or Jeff any softball questions?
I don't throw anybody softball questions.
That was a jab. That was me getting a jab for you going to eat.
Of course you are. No, but I look,
Mm.
I hadn't eaten any all day. Number one, I had to eat. Sorry, but and then I go, oh, he forgot about me already. It's all good. And then we have a hospital ward in the house at the moment. My son is deadly sick. I don't want to get sick. My daughter is sick.
Mm.
Oh wow.
Tested them both. Luckily, not COVID. They have some other goddamn virus that throw up their shit all day long. And
wow.
yeah,
Sorry to
so
hear
I'm
that.
trying to manage that and not get sick at the same time, which I cannot afford to get sick at the moment.
It's Vinny's
So-
fault.
Yeah,
Yep.
no, it's not
Why
Why's
Vinny's
it gotta
fault.
be my fault? God damn it.
It's always Vinny's
Bro.
fault.
Sergio, you weren't here. Steven wasn't here. Do you know how we opened the channel tonight? Now we
No,
opened the show
I have
tonight?
no idea.
When I opened the show, I said hello, yada yada yada, right? First or second comment was, "Hey Vinny, glad to hear your voice is better. Can you get us discount tickets to Disneyland?"
Oh, I was there for that.
Mickey Mouse voice, you know.
Oh, but you know what? I did that. Did
I
that
mean, can
Greek
you?
Greek fix work for you? Did you do that?
Oh, well, yeah, of course I did. I did it
Did
that
it?
night. I did it the
Sure.
next day. I whatever it was, apparently I had saw before the Super Bowl, there was a report that came out. Some of the Kansas City players had come down with an illness as well. And when
Oh.
they described what it was, I was like, well, shit, that's what the hell I got. And I think Eddie's going through it now. So I didn't throw it
It's
over to
almost gone.
Austin. It's going around. Whatever it is, it's
Uh-huh.
going around right now.
Yeah, it is. What somebody said, new flu is worse than COVID. Yeah, man. I had COVID once, and it was like nothing like this. So I don't want to get sick. But thank you. Yeah, Steven did a great job on the interview. He did a great job in Arizona. Now
Thank
we're
you.
going to sit down and tell him how to make double that in Coachella.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
And
Oh,
I-
we gotta have some conversations about Coachella, man. It's gonna. I'm gonna throw some money out on this.
Hey,
Hold on.
by the way, Eddie, when was South by Southwest?
It's March 10th to the 19th.
No, no sense in going, Omar. We got spring break.
No.
Yes, I
Yes,
saw that,
you-
Mr.
Let me
Gambit.
see.
And again, this
Yep,
morning with
March
the
10th.
boot
March-
storm, the whole city was red.
March
So something is
March
happening.
has to be our month. Like that's like the month for us down here.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
this means we could go travel.
Well, the events that don't.
Whatever.
Well, I tell you what, Chicago. He's saying Chicago in the summer is banging,
Oh yeah.
right?
Oh
And
yeah.
obviously, we got a place to stay there. We just throw the cat out on the patio, and we
Yeah.
got a place to stay.
You got the best view in the city too, baby.
I got a
Yes,
vest. I don't need to buy one.
It's
I got
only
one.
$150 a day to park, but that's besides the point.
You'll
happens
you'll make about 4 times that. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, but Brandon, we could just keep getting parking tickets, right?
Well,
In Chicago,
You can, but see where the city gets you is if you want to work for the city or me, get your chauffeur's permit. They make you pay off all that before you can do it.
Mm.
So, I got some money to throw out before I get my chauffeur's permit.
I ain't gotta worry about none of that.
Maybe
I ain't paying no tickets.
only a few racks, nothing crazy.
so
Brandon, were you gonna bet against Steven that he's not gonna make double the amount that he made in Arizona?
See, I didn't want to bring it up, bro, but
Yeah, you're gonna lose
then
your ass on that
somebody
one.
brought it up.
You're gonna lose your ass on that one.
I know I'm.
Okay, first of all, if I ever interview you, you have
I know
to
what
speak
I'm going to be
faster.
making.
Well, have you ever done Coachella?
where is
No,
Coachella?
but I've done Lollapalooza and several other festivals. So I'm familiar.
They're all different.
Wait, Brandon, you're saying you're traveling to the state of California?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna fly there.
Okay,
Me
who was
and Musa are gonna fly there.
Thanks,
And
brother.
what are you driving?
We'll
Okay.
talk about it on Discord.
Okay.
We'll talk
Okay,
about it on
okay.
Yeah,
Discord.
Coachella. Look,
Okay.
Coachella is not until middle of April, so don't worry about it. There, you have plenty of time to make a plan.
I'll give you access
Coach-
to the little channel I have about it.
Okay.
I'm not doing it, but would Coachella be as worth it to say somebody coming from Arizona to California or Nevada?
No,
to
because
California?
it's a completely different crowd and completely different venue. Completely different setup. The way you have to work that is 90% private, 10% app.
I'm ready. I
Well,
want
we
it.
have
I'm
to,
hungry.
Really?
we have to sit down and make a plan.
Yes, I want it. I'm
Really?
I
hungry.
have your plans
Interesting.
ready.
All right.
I've
Like
done
I
it,
said,
bro.
I got your
So-
dinner. Yeah, I don't know if you drink. I got
how,
your
do,
drink.
how do you rate? So Sergio, how do you guys rate your when it comes to a private ride in distance and time?
No, you just do contracts before you even get to Coachella from the people who are going from LA to Coachella. You're their
Yes.
driver. You're their driver. You're 2 or 3 groups driver for the whole event.
Mm-hmm.
And you
Yep.
know ahead of time where they're going to stay, most likely in Palm Springs in a $10 million house, and they have zero concern for money. The only thing they are looking for is proper pickup, proper drop off. The next day, proper pickup, proper drop off.
Every
They're all
time.
going to be high as a kite, all of them. And you know, you get your money up front before you even go. You're not
100%.
You're not even going to go. Say, pay me 100 here, pay me 200 there.
Hey, is it worth it to possibly get them to participate a little bit by using an app, some sort of app that helps you find them? Because, like you said, they'll be drunk and high off their ass. So
Yeah,
maybe
best thing,
if
the
you
best
use
thing-
like Life 360 or something like that, this way you can, hey, come get me. We're at the spot, and it's like you're not at the spot, but because you can see where they are.
Yeah, you could do that, but you know what's going to happen is that you manage all that. See, this is not the first time that these people are doing Coachella. Coachella is usually
Right.
very repeat crowd.
Right.
So they have figured this gig out on the customer side. You have to just figure it out, be accommodative on the driver's side. Okay.
Right. Right.
So these are people who are definitely looking for high-end services, high-end cars.
Okay.
And safety and all kinds of good stuff. So they're high-end
100%
people,
provide
and
safety.
you just
And
make
most likely discrepancy as well.
yeah. And the other thing that you
100%.
can do, honestly, is like I mean, I don't. Is this against the Fight Club? Yeah, probably is.
No, go ahead. Say what you got.
Say
to
it.
say,
Say
bro.
what
Say
you
it.
got
I
to
wanna
say.
know.
have to ask.
What I used to do, in those days, they were not as accurate as today. But you just drop air tags, and then you just kind of exactly know what's happening, where they are, what's
Alright.
going on, and they know they have it on them. So that way, even if they're kite as high as a kite, they can't find you. Do you find them?
So that means I need to find my iPhone then. I lost it before I went
See,
on.
that was kind of to my point right there. Was just knowing where they are. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
All right,
because
so I got a question then.
it's a great venue, but it's messed up over there. It's just the traffic is worse than Arizona 5 times X5 5X.
Yeah, and it's like a city that's grown, right?
Yeah.
Because it used to be out in the
Okay.
middle of nowhere, and now it's like a freaking
But then how do you get your clients?
What do you mean?
that might be Fight
Preemptive
Club.
clients first.
How do you get your clients? You
Yeah.
advertise, bro. You advertise
Okay.
weeks before.
Listen, you get out there, Eddie, and you sell your ass, man. Let's go.
You sell your ass, bro. You get
Lap
to
dance.
you get to all the free advertising sites. Number one, like
I already have an ad on
Pornhub.
Craigslist.
Yeah, Craigslist. But then you got to do it differently, obviously, for Coachella.
Mhm.
You don't quote prices. You advertise there. You advertise on every possible potential place that you can advertise.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I mean, the first year will be probably not as lucrative, but if you're going to keep doing it, it gets better
That's the
and
plan.
better and better because word of mouth goes around.
Right.
Yeah, and
Indeed.
Steven, don't work for $80 an hour during Coachella, please.
Yeah, please don't do that.
All right, so I have a question. Because I know how this applies to us when we do Ultra EDM down here.
Yeah.
Ultra, when they come out, they're high as hell, but they're not drunk.
Yeah.
So Coachella, is it more drunk than high, more high than drunk, or just a
It's more
It's
high.
the state of
but
California, man.
It's more
All
high
that
than
shit's
drunk.
legal.
It's more high than drunk, but then Well, everybody's on something there. Honestly,
A lot of the
I don't
festival
think there is
people,
one
they
straight person there.
they
Hold on,
go to
man.
all these festivals. Like like every time I have like a lot of the times I was picking people up for Lollapalooza last year. They said, yeah, I go to all the festivals year round.
Yeah, we got a lot of travelers down here too. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
listen, here's another thing too. And out in California, it's gonna be hot, right? But like, is it?
In that
no,
area, yeah.
you know, actually, April is like right before it gets super hot. It's peak season actually. Like right now, where Coachella is in Palm Springs, Palm Desert area. It's like Arizona actually. Right now, Arizona is high season because in summer, Palm Springs, Palm Desert is 125.
Okay, because
So it's
that's
high
the challenge that
season.
we have.
Yeah.
That's the challenge that we have down here is that it's 80 degrees, but it's like 1,000% humidity, and
Yeah.
these people are partying from 12 o'clock in the afternoon till midnight.
Yeah.
It's ultras like 12 hours or 10 hours straight.
Yeah.
I mean, like the good DJs come on and they last like 4 hours.
Yeah.
I should say good DJs. They're all good. They really are.
They
But
did.
yeah, you got some people that go out there and they party from sun up till sundown, and
Sundown.
so it's not that they're just high and drunk. They're dead. They're just like
10-minute ride. You got to wake them up to get out because they're already. As soon as they hit the,
Yeah. Not only that, you just got to figure out your hygiene situation. These people are going to be covered in sweat and bodily fluids and all kinds of shit. So
Gotcha.
bodily fluids.
Sticky
They
and very
left.
sticky.
They left bodily fluids.
it's
Picture.
worth it. It's
A
worth
lot
it.
of Clorox wipes.
I'm
Yeah,
ready.
No,
well,
oh, that's another thing,
ready.
Eddie. You don't want to use Clorox on the polyurethane seats. You destroy the material.
Yep.
We don't
So-
have polyurethane. We have leather.
so
Oh,
we'll do that, and
he's-
then we'll do another interview, Steven. How about that?
Sounds good.
There
I
you
like
go.
it.
Listen,
No,
what
because
I
I want to attack this at a much higher level than I did with this. This was fun, but I know I can do much better, and I'm excited to push the envelope this time. So.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not too far, really. It's like
Yeah.
140 miles.
Yeah, it's nothing compared to my trip that I just did.
No,
So
you don't even have to stay. Like you could do your gig and then come
Right,
back if
and
you
come
want,
back.
whatever. But
Well,
I mean, that's
I
if
had
you
left
don't-
myself open to possibly going back and picking up somebody else and bringing them too, depending on if I can get the money.
Oh yeah. And then
Yeah.
that's where that's. But then if you contract with like couple 3 groups max,
Right,
that's what
right.
you need.
That's what I
And
need.
each group, and then their schedules are basically going to be the same because they have different stages and different areas anyway.
Hmm. Right.
So their timing, you have to kind of adjust the timing, but it all comes to the setup, how you set yourself up before you go.
Gotcha.
Because everybody's got their tickets already. Everybody knows what events they're going to attend. Everybody knows what's going to happen.
Mhm.
You just have to arrange the logistics and all that with these people.
Right.
But it's big crowd, man, and they're rich people. I mean, high-end people. There is a
That's-
low-end group too, but it's mostly high-end.
And what I'm looking forward to probably the most out of this whole thing is, the money's going to be great, but to just expand my network for people that I can do business with all year round. I'm really excited for that. So,
Yeah.
because I didn't expect to really meet that many people from California this time, and I met a lot.
We'll figure it out. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
So, like,
All right.
I want to bring up what Fraser Franchise just said, and this kind of goes hand in hand with what Vito's saying now. He says he'll never do any of these crazy events. I'll drop off, but be nowhere near the events when they finish. But
Yeah.
just prior to that, Fraser Franchise, he says a lot of people will go really early to the parties, the mansion parties that start around 12, which kind of
Right.
leads into what Jeff was talking about on his video, where he wasn't anywhere near the Super Bowl at the end. He
Yeah.
was everyplace else.
And that was
So-
smart.
And that's always a smart thing to do. Like, you always say, if the crowd's sitting over here, and with my theory, guys, what we were talking about, why Lyft was giving so many lowball offers, you want to be the opposite direction.
Yes.
It might not be the big glamorous ride, but hey, bro, that ride will be paying out.
You gotta
And
know
you'll be
where you're
moving,
aiming.
and you can move on to the next ride instead of being stuck in traffic.
Yeah.
Amen.
Well, the Super Bowl is obviously about, if you think about it, right? I mean, Phoenix is, I don't know, a couple million people, including Scottsdale and neighboring areas, right?
Mhm.
Well, Super Bowl is only 70,000 people that are coming out of the stadium. Okay, so how many of those are you going to grab as opposed to all the 2 million who are going to house parties and this and that?
Right.
So it's like, it's almost
How
like
many people are actually there to work?
it's almost like trading. Honestly, it's like you got to be where there ain't. You got to be counter, trend when it goes to at some point. If 100 people are doing the same thing, there's 98 out of 100 are doing the same thing. 2 are left to do the same thing, and then so what? If 2 do it, nothing is going to change. So you got to go where they're not, and that's counterintuitive. But that's a lot of drivers don't do that. They don't understand it, and I'm like, okay,
Right.
up to you.
Yeah, but they bitch and complain about it, and so that we all can make the same amount of money.
Yeah, bitching and complaining easy, but if a lot of people do this because they do it just to do it, and it takes what you put in anything, it's what you get out of it. I don't give a shit who says what. A lot of people do it without thought because it's so automated, so gamified, so gamblified. Apps look like they make everything so easy for you. You put on auto accept, you just keep driving, keep driving, and I'm going like, what is the purpose of this? I don't get it.
I gotta bring up, bro, on your show, man. What the is that with the
negative rides?
What in the hell is that shit, man?
Welcome to the
Where
negative ride.
Where in the hell did that come from?
Yeah.
So what is that?
Okay, if you guys don't know, you guys didn't watch the Show Me the Money Club tonight.
Boo.
Every week
I was working.
Listen, rightfully they're supposed to be on Tuesday night, and they kind of let me speak my piece. I love you, Sergio.
I love you too, man. But we announced it 4 times last Tuesday.
He did.
I know.
I mean, if you guys have such short memories, like the TikTok.
Well, you could see why he has short memory. Come on.
Well,
you know what?
Right, don't pound on Vinny now. He's just,
bro.
He's giving that.
He's doing this shit over there.
At the end of the day, he's getting paid
videos,
$24 to drive a half mile. So it is what it is.
I make my money and I don't spend as much gas. I'm good to go. Go ahead, sir.
Hey, Vinny knows. You all know what you're doing, so you don't need coaching from me. Shit.
I'll take some coaching.
I'll take some coaching. Actually, originally, the first one, Chris sent me this in the morning. Was we shoot like text in the morning to all week, and then we just kind of, because he's East Coast time, and I'm up early, so he knows I'm up. So he's texting me this screenshot of a ping, maybe like 4 days ago, but he says it came from Reddit. So I'm going like, okay, anything that comes from Reddit, up.net, all these things, I'm suspect because there are a lot of photoshopping going on. There are a lot of stupid stuff goes on there, right? So I'm like, this can't be, because that was the first one I had seen. And I'm going like, well, I really joked about it like a few months ago. I said, pretty soon we're going to have to pay to drive. And
that's what they want.
I mean, right? And
I didn't want to pay a membership fee for more money.
No, not membership. Negative trips like this.
I wish I had. You know what? Let me see if I can do something. Go ahead, Serge.
Yeah. So anyway, and then this morning I wake up. I had a couple of DMs on my Twitter account, and one was from a guy in Arizona. He goes, "I love your show." Blah 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 blah. Okay. And he has the screenshot. So I'm going like, why would anybody bother to DM me the screenshot and a whole text saying that look what they're doing here? And it happened to be from a trip from Scottsdale to Phoenix. And the trip had $7 surge on it. It was a total of like 5 miles, I think. And he paid like $4.28 or $4.78. And then underneath the $4.78, it says $7 surge included. So I'm going like,
no. One of the people.
Do you understand what? Wait a minute. Do you understand what he just said? The ride request popped up on the screen. He was sitting on a $7 surge.
Yep.
But the ride was only paying $4.60.
Yes.
It was.
It sounds like the surge was not applying.
No.
That's what it sounds like. It's going on. The surge was not applying.
So I've seen one of these as well. So and I think I saw it over my time in Arizona. Somebody had popped it up either in a chat or something like that, where they got far less. It was like they weren't even getting they didn't get the surge at all, and the ride was super lowballed for the distance.
Someone took this ride. That's what we're saying. I'm trying to understand.
They took a screenshot. I don't know if they took the ride.
I mean, potentially, like somebody takes all rides. Okay, you
Right.
guys have to admit that. When
Yeah.
we did the earnings thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uber
Okay.
did 1 million trips per hour for the whole quarter. You figured that shit out.
Hold on. Sergio,
Yeah,
I'm going to do this. I'm not playing it. I'm just showing a snip of the shot, okay?
bro, do
'Cause I
whatever
don't
you
think
want. I don't care.
people are grasping what we're talking about here.
Yeah, it's because it's so weird, right? Yeah,
Nope,
look
I
at
get
that,
it.
There it
boys.
is.
Look
There
at
it
that.
is. I want you to read that. Really take a good look at that.
Yeah, take a good look at the ping, and then Chris did a good job deciphering all this because it's really weird.
What the hell?
Yeah.
It has to be that there's a bug where the surge is not applying. That's what it has to be.
Brandon, you're better than that, Brandon. You're better than
Yeah,
that, Brandon.
a purposely programmed bug. I mean, yeah.
There are no glitches in Uberland, Brandon.
Oh yeah, no, you're right.
There are no
It's a
glitches
negative
on Uberland. They're all
$4.97
intentional.
ride. $13
Wow.
surge. Upfront
Mhm.
fare $803 is what the guy's going to get paid with a $13 surge. It's a negative $5 ride, bro.
Dude, somebody's sitting there at HQ and they put this shit out there. And as soon as the driver hit accept, they went, got him.
You ain't lying.
Honestly, I don't think I don't think that happens as much as you guys think it does. Seriously, but what happens is that these are all tests.
Right, that's what I mean.
I'm telling you, the gamification and gamification of these apps. We're going to start talking about that until Vina Duval shows up on the 21st or 28th of March. She wrote this amazing article, and then I totally get it. And the gamification is this, exactly that we're all in front of a slot machine, and then right when we're about to quit, the slot machine will throw you a couple of cherries for you to sit down another half hour. And that's exactly what's happening. It's just casino. But these kind of tests that they run it for a period of few hours. As you guys heard, they do 1 million trips an hour. Obviously not in Arizona alone. They do all these tests around the country. Uber is probably the most data-centric company on the planet. That includes Amazon. They know everything to the minute on a live basis, and they analyze it. They're the biggest big data company ever.
Really?
So when they tell you, the support tells you, oh, this chip, we're not going to adjust up, down, whatever, it's all lies. They know exactly what's happening. Okay, I'll tell you guys how. Well, now I can talk about it. I'll tell you guys how I know. 3 months ago, I caught one of their glitches. Okay. And I wrote an article and I put it all out there. Meaning, what they did was they did a back test before Upfront started. And then from July of last year all the way to January, I go mess with the app constantly just to find these little things that I can either take advantage of or others can take advantage of it. So I go to, messing around in July. I click on a trip, open it up in the detail page. Up top, it said whatever I got under miles and minutes. This is before Upfront started. Okay.
Mhm.
Underneath it, on tiny little print, it said Upfront fares. I'm going like, huh? What is that? So I go month by month, trip by trip, over 560 trips. And all had what I got actually paid under miles and minutes, and underneath it said upfront fare. So some data analyst did a test simulating what upfront fares would look like when they went to upfront fares and left it all in the app. Well, guess what? That's all on my Google Drive, not to be received back. So I sit down and did a spreadsheet on all 580 trips. And I came up with the conclusion that upfront fares simulated from miles and minutes to upfront would have cost the driver negative 2.4%. I wrote an article. It comes out Monday. Thursday, Harry calls. He goes, Serge? I go, what? He goes, I don't know what you wrote, but he goes, I got a couple of emails saying that you misunderstood what they put there. I go, who? What is
Please inform me.
Yeah.
Well, he goes, you know, the article about the upfront thing and, you know, the glitch that you caught, so-called glitch. They're not calling it a glitch.
Mhm.
I'm like,
Why
okay,
would
so what do
they?
they want? He goes, well, they want to put like their own explanation. I go, if you leave the article up, you're more than welcome to put your own explanation in there. So they put an explanation in there that wouldn't make sense to a fucking second grader.
Oh
Right?
my
You
god.
know how the POS is when you read it, you don't even understand what's going on.
Yep.
It's like a paragraph that said nothing out of
Yes.
60 words they used. It's like a politician. They said 60 words and it didn't mean anything, nothing.
Yep.
So I go, okay. I go, listen, you don't touch the article. Article stays as it is. He goes, no, okay, no problem. We'll just leave it as it is. I go, if you're going to mess with the article body, I want you to take the whole thing down. And
Right.
then I will say it on Show Me the
Repost
Money.
it somewhere. Yep.
I go, no. He goes, no, but they want to make you understand that this is what happened. I go, Harry, what happened is that they got caught with their pants down. All that data is on my computer now. Now I'm actually worried, Harry, that they're going to hack my fucking computer and wipe out my disk drive or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
He goes,
You
no,
know-
but he goes, Serge, you know, I've never asked you for 5 years to do anything like this. He goes, this comes really high up. I go, Harry, I don't give a shit if it comes from the president of the United States. I go, I caught them with their pants down. I put the shit there. You know, until today, I mean, I put my stuff out after I researched it. I'm not just going to say something or write something that is not researched. Anyway, long story short, I go, I agree to putting a paragraph. If you touch one sentence out of the article, I go take the whole thing down. And then I'll go shop it to Bloomberg, Wall Street Journal, whatever you want to shop.
Up shit.
He goes, no, we're not going to touch the article. We're just going to put the explanation. Well, the explanation is in the article. You guys can go read it and make sense out of it. But basically, I get these fucking emails every week. Okay?
Right.
Every week.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, maybe every other 10 days.
Mm-hmm.
Well, why did he say that? I'm like, okay, here's the deal. Here's an olive branch to you guys. Okay? Come on, bring your data and explain.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more than willing.
100%.
I'm all ears. And whoever watches 5, 8, 10,000 people afterwards, they're all ears. We want to learn. We want to learn from the gods of RideShare.
100%.
And they don't want to come on the show and break it
From
down.
our
for you?
overlords.
Break it down, buddy. Bring your data. Because guess what? Uber is the most protective company when it comes to their data. If you watch your earnings reports or the conference calls, everything is so convoluted and bundled up that even the analysts don't understand what the heck is going on.
You ain't lying about that, bro.
Here, okay, I just got this email like maybe 2 hours ago from Len Sherman, who is the business professor at Columbia Business School. This guy knows his shit more than anybody. Okay, can I read this to you guys and then I go sleep?
Yes.
All right, so this is a private email, so you guys know. But I can read this because I put up his video like yesterday. Anyway, he goes, ever since Uber published their Q4 22 earnings, I've had a nagging feeling, this is a professor writing to me, that their reported mobility take rates did not sound right. Why? Because they said our take rates did not go up with upfront fares. We're thinking upfront fares, they're swimming in cash, right?
Right.
So he's explaining now. In particular, after adjusting for an accounting change, Uber claims its global mobility take rate was only 19.8%, 280 basis points lower than its take rate in Q4 2019. How's that possible? Well, he goes right here. So he goes, I expected Uber's reported take rate to trend upward in its most recent quarter for two reasons. One, Uber already had implemented UFD driver pay in many US major metros, correct? Fully decoupling passenger fares and driver comp from time and distance rates. As such, Uber had the opportunity and need to more effectively arbitrage the spread between passenger price and driver pay on billions of ride-hail trips in Q4 2022. Correct. In US, Uber's biggest market by far, lots of anecdotal evidence suggests that Uber was able to significantly cut back on driver incentives in most recent quarter. We know that's true. Since Uber records driver incentives as a reduction of revenue, which is correct, decreasing incentives resulted in increasing revenues and take rates.
Correct.
Okay. So why did Uber's reported take rates decrease in the most recent quarter? Well, here he comes. He read through the tea leaves. The answer might be hidden in the massive revenue and take rate adjustment in parentheses made on their Q4 financials, specifically a footnote in their earnings statement says mobility revenue of 4.1 billion grew 82% year over year. The year-over-year increase was primarily driven by a 1.2 billion benefit related to a UK business model change. So basically, he's saying that all this, it was so much smoke and mirrors. Now I understand why the take rate did not go up. I have my own theory why the take rate did not go up, but that's a different story. I'll take his bet over mine.
Okay.
So to understand what this means, one needs to refer to how Uber defines driver incentives, also from their Q4 22 earnings report. Driver incentives refer to payments that we make to drivers, which are separate from and in addition to the driver's portion of the fare paid by the consumer after we retain our service fee to drivers. So, cutting through the dense verbiage, what appears to have happened was that Uber reclassified UK driver incentives from what used to be a net revenue reduction to a line item in its cost of revenue. This adjustment had the effect of increased Uber's reported revenue in Q4 by exactly 1.2 billion. Remember that 1.2 billion, guys, that they took?
Yeah.
It's the same exact number.
So
So
they
you
just
can't run. You
manipulated the
can hide,
numbers.
but you can run, but you cannot hide from smart people. So it goes then, but wait, this means that under its original accounting rules, because they made an accounting rule change because it's EBITDA, it's not GAAP, okay? Because they can do whatever the F they want with EBITDA.
The fuzzy math.
Because, but wait, this means that under its original accounting rules and the way Uber still reports revenue in the US and elsewhere, Uber's Q4 2022 global mobility revenue would have been 4.1 billion minus the 1.2. Not the 2.9 at 2.9 billion, not the 4.1 that they announced. So all they did was they took that 1.2 billion and put it into another line and made it look like it's 4.1, but it was nowhere near 4.1. So that's that. And then he goes, if I've made some miscalculations, that's understandably the result that Uber's accounting and adjustment are deliberately opaque. On the few occasions when analysts have raised questions on earnings calls, Uber's CEO and CFO have been downright dismissive. Here, for example, is what CFO Nelson Chai responded, and he's correct on this, to a question about Uber's surprisingly low take rates in Q2 2022. He said, Nelson Chai was the CFO, he said, as you know, we don't really focus on the take rate. We give it to you because you guys are focusing on it and asking us. This is a CFO, okay? Bottom line, Uber's numbers don't add up. I happen to think Dara and Nelson do focus a lot on the take rates.
Oh, yeah.
A lot. They just don't want to talk about it. So smoke and mirrors is going to end very shortly because there is so much. Now, if the numbers were that good, why didn't the stock go up 20%? Stock is actually under what they reported earnings at.
Correct, but now, Sergio, what happens? I mean, if they keep reporting the wrong numbers, sooner or later, I mean, their stock is just gonna basically just
their stock is definitely basically gonna crater.
Yeah,
just like Lyft's.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Lyft
they just
is actually
manipulating the numbers,
company.
but at the end of the day, the numbers are basically they just upside down.
It is upside down. I actually respond to this. I'll give you my 2 cents to Len. I exactly know what they did. First of all, their business is exactly 50-50, right? 50% mobility, 50% delivery. Exactly now, down the middle. And I know from my channel checks, every single delivery order, they jack the price up on the customer up the wazoo. So what they did was they increased the take rate immensely on the delivery side. What they did is they lowered the take rate on the driver's side, but they balanced it at an even level. But lowering the take rate on the driver's side, they started a price war with Lyft, and Lyft being a single
Right.
trip pony, they
Yeah.
had to compete. And
Yeah.
that's why the drivers were getting all this $3.23 for 6-mile orders, because Uber was undercutting Lyft on major 20 markets, which is 75% of their revenue. And Lyft couldn't compete, and that shows in their earnings. That's why Lyft is losing big time. And the Uber decided, you know what? It's time to put these people to bed. It's time
Right.
to put the dagger in their heart. We're going to increase our take rate on the 50% of the business, lower it on the other side, kill these
Right.
guys once and for all. And they played a beautiful game of chess, and Lyft is bye-bye. So it showed the power of Uber's business model, that they have so many levers to pull that they can mess with Lyft any way they want now. And if Uber decides, okay, this quarter we're going to really make money, they increase, Lyft increases, everybody's happy. But guess what, though? If they get in a price war to zero, who's going to suffer the most? The driver. The only benefit goes to the passenger. They get lower fares. The driver is going to suffer for the fact that they're in a price war, they're in a race to zero, and the offers you guys are getting are not going to be that hot. So, but now definitely, I mean, Uber is playing the last 3 moves on a chessboard, and Lyft is about to go bye-bye.
Yeah.
I've been saying this for a long time.
In other
I've told
words,
many
keep
this.
buying puts every earnings call.
It's a race to the bottom with them. They just want to have their automated cars, and they want to get rid of drivers. Once they get rid of us, they're gonna stop.
That's not going to happen.
They're gonna stop asking questions.
That's not going to happen. I would, you know what? I would bet my last single dollar that I wish tomorrow they came up with a $30 billion fleet of their own cars. Because now they have to own the cars. If they cannot make money without owning the cars, how the heck are you going to make money while owning the cars, maintaining the cars? Never going to happen.
Have a good one, Chicago.
All
right.
Brandon? Oh, he took his trip already?
Yeah, Brandon took off. Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys
That's not going to happen. Or, and a lot of people are thinking that the autonomous vehicles are going to be a lot cheaper trips. Not going to be.
No.
Can't be, because they own the cars. It's a huge investment.
Right now we have to maintain. Yeah, right now all the drivers have to maintain their cars, and they bank on the people that are coming. As we know, a bunch of people are coming into the market or coming into driving and have no idea what it takes to maintain a car for rideshare. None at all.
Steven,
yes.
Maintain, okay? Maintain.
Yeah.
We've seen some cars.
Right.
Yeah, but think about it, right? So, okay, in the US, they have about 2.5 million drivers. Globally, they just Uber side. Globally, they have 5.4 million drivers, right? All these 5.4 million drivers own their cars. They maintain the cars, buy the gas, charge it, whatever they need to do. Okay, so imagine all those 5.4 million cars belong to Uber. Uber is the owner as an AV fleet. How do you maintain that? You know how much money that costs? They don't have the money on the planet to not only finance a fleet like that, price the trips correctly enough to even turn a profit.
Right.
Well, I would love to see that. That's never going to happen. I mean, it may happen here and there for PR purposes, which is happening now, in LA and Phoenix and San Francisco, whatever. It's the biggest money loser ever.
Well, I think
an emerging technology too.
Yeah. Well, my tinfoil hat theory has always been, the reason why they cut the deal with with Hertz for the Ubers or for the Teslas was so that they could make more money off the drivers. They get their little piece off every rental. But we know that Musk has a long-standing goal of taking people who own Teslas, and then they can turn them out for the his robo-taxis. And my tinfoil hat theory is that Lyft is going to collect all that data off all those Tesla rentals, because they're getting a piece of the data through the app, and they're going to present that to Musk and try to wiggle worm their way in, because Uber doesn't want to earn. They don't want to own anything.
Nope.
Either does Lyft.
No,
That's
lose money.
That's the only scenario. And granted, those guys are a lot smarter than me, but that's the only scenario where I
No,
see.
they're not. You're giving them
that
way
happen.
too much credit, bro. They're not as smart as you think they are, bro.
I'm just saying. Listen, I have a knack of seeing things before they tend to really happen. On some instances, people call me crazy, and then of course here it happens.
Yeah.
That's the only scenario I see where that works out for Uber and autonomous vehicles.
Yeah,
I don't
but
see it any other way.
that has to be
Like you
accepted
just said,
by.
sir, they can't go out and buy all these cars. They got no shot in hell. Tesla
The
isn't going
other
to print
setup,
all
by
the
the way, the other setup with autonomous vehicles is, AAA did a survey like 6 months ago, really recently. 85% of the public is against autonomous vehicles.
Of
Now,
course they
what's
are.
going to happen is that's maybe the older generation. There's the newer generation, the Gen Xers, Gen Zers. They may not even own a car the rest of their lives. They're just going to use Ubers and Lyfts and autonomous vehicles or whatever. Not okay.
Right.
And to me, that's such a long game to play that I don't think is going to ever pay off. Right. I mean, I know the car owning trends are different now than they were maybe 15 years ago, but to just say that Uber, just here, 2 million cars, you have to operate, you have to clean, you have to charge, you have to change the oil. Well, let's assume they're all EVs. EVs are not cheap cars. Even if you buy the cheap cars, I mean, it's not easy, bro.
Well, that's very similar to the business model for, was it Carvana? Whichever one of the companies that just was buying up a bunch of cars, but had no real mechanics to go through and inspect them and to get them in good shape to be able to sell them. So now you got a bunch of inventory on things you have no idea how to maintain and don't have the garage space or employees to work on them. And you're surprised that your infrastructure, your entire business model falls apart when the thing that that's supposed to be your money maker keeps becoming worth less and less money. People keep losing faith in your business, and then the market drops out from under you as vehicles become cheaper. These used vehicles become cheaper.
Infrastructure for electric cars. There is none.
Exactly that too. Plus, there is. Look, I mean, again, the technology is there to a point. Okay, I mean, look, Zoox just started testing their cars. I think I told you guys this. I'm a Zoox consultant. Okay, they just started yesterday. I mean, they spent $2.5 billion in research and development on this little vehicle that they came up with. It's an amazing machine. I mean, everybody should go look at it. It goes both ways at the same speed. It parks 90 degree, wheels turn 90 degree. They can go park into a tiny little parking spot with one maneuver. It's for 4 passengers. It's got 2 doors like a train. It's an amazing freaking machine. Okay. But these people, they cannot do some of the tasks that human can do. Yeah, they can drive on the freeway. Like my car has what is it called? Like it keeps you in the lane and it keeps braking and whatever,
cruise control.
Whatever that is. Smart cruise control, whatever. So level 5 is like an immense task, bro. A lot of these things still cannot do half the shit that human does. It's just not possible. And to me, I think that's just a sales tactic that they're using. Just like Travis used to get more money when they were running out of cash 8 years ago. He went to the Saudis. Look, we're going to have the flying Ubers pretty soon. I'm like, really? And he took another bunch of billion, and how Uber survived. So I'm like,
So
I think the autonomous is just going to come to like kind of like when I was at Sam's, they had the little robot that used to check the aisles and all that stuff. I think that's where autonomous is just going to go to.
Yeah, it's going to take a long time. I think it's going to be way after I die.
This begs the question: what is the end game? I mean, it is to get rid of us, is it not?
Not necessarily. Honestly, I don't think so, because at the moment, their costs are so low of running the system without owning anything. They don't even own their servers. They're all leased through Amazon AWS or Oracle now. Honestly, it's like the most brilliant business model ever invented. Do not put a dime into shit other than marketing and finding passengers and undercutting all the industry. And it's a brilliant model. I mean, look, you got to give it to these guys. But the end game, the autonomous vehicles are not going to be cheaper. The trips are not going to be cheaper than a guy owning his car and accepting a trip for 5 miles for $3.50. It's just not going to be. And that's where we are today. So to me, the end game is actually, we are at the end game. When I saw those negative trips, right? I'm going like, this got to be the end game. I mean, can't
Right.
get worse than this, man. Right?
So don't let me get off track here. But Eddie, what was we talking about? What have we been talking about the last couple of months, you and me, right? When we doing our thing. So
No,
wait. So you didn't know this?
I heard
No,
it. I've heard people
actually,
whispering about this, but
oh no, actually, this happened a couple of days ago. This happened over the weekend. This was agreed upon.
Buy more Tesla.
This was agreed again. This was agreed upon, and I'm going to think the only reason that Elon Musk, who is very, very protective of his babies, all of them, the only reason he's doing this is because the amount of money the federal government's going to pay him to allow those chargers to open up. He's not going to have to retrofit them.
Right.
If you pull up with a GM Hummer or Cadillac Lyric or something like that, you better have the converter.
Right.
Or you ain't charging at the station. So anyway.
No.
Eddie,
Is this actual news?
Yes, this is the real deal. It's
Hold
a
on.
done deal.
Let me see if I can find the article. I know
This is
he
what they
said.
talked about over the
This
weekend.
is, I mean, I heard it was coming. I've heard people grumbling about it here and there, but
Good
man,
luck
that is
charging
gonna
your Tesla now.
exactly
Well,
the
that's
whole
the other
the
part
whole
to it.
advantage. The whole advantage to owning a Tesla, whenever people ask me in the car, what do I like and what do I don't like about the Tesla? I don't like that I don't have instruments right in front of me. I don't like this giant screen in the middle because it blocks where I can put my phone. I don't like that I don't have Apple Play and Android. What is it? Google or whatever.
It was bound to
And-
happen. You know why it was bound to
but-
happen? Because he's got the only reliable grid. The only.
But
I mean,
Well,
100%. I had no problem charging all the way to Arizona. I have no problem charging going all the way to San Francisco. So it's just it's a frustrating because it's gonna mess with my bit. There's already chargers here that when I get there, there's too many Teslas there.
Yeah.
So now with other cars coming in and able to charge,
Bro, you're gonna be that guy. You're gonna be that guy on TikTok and Instagram where the little old lady is there with her Chevy Cruise.
That's
He's
Right.
like,
right.
you go to pull up, he's gonna be like, Sonny, how do I do this?
no,
You guys
then-
gotta understand.
Wait.
I
and
help
then
new
once she
people,
plugs
but
in-
still,
wait. Once you finally get her plugged in and take that hour and a half to teach her how to do it, then she's gonna pull out her little walking cart and she's gonna go to the grocery store while her car charges, and you're gonna be sitting there looking like a dummy.
Mhm.
Yeah, bro. It's gonna happen, dude. It's gonna happen. But my point is, like, last week I was sick, right? And I don't, you know what, Eddie? I don't even want to bring this up today. There you go, Eddie. Go for it. I'm not even gonna bring that up today. We'll talk about that another day.
Well, I'll just say that Tesla's more. I've always said Tesla's more than a car company. They're an innovator. Where it's incredible how Uber doesn't own any property and they're worth what they're worth. Same thing with Airbnb. Like their valuation to me is ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. But
Yeah, but
they're just one.
that doesn't mean it's a good business to be in, right? So
Right,
rideshare is a horrible
I guess-
business to be in. Horrible.
Right.
It's like an absolute horrible
Right.
business.
But what Elon has done it the right way, man. He's been successful. He's been transparent. He's like, hey, he's on the record for saying, I would love for someone to put Tesla out of business, and they just can't do it.
Well, but one of the key things that made it that, at least when it comes to the vehicles, that made it that way is that infrastructure that only the Teslas had access to. So what is that going to do exactly? I guess it'll drive it up. I mean, on the fact that everybody's going to be using the tech.
The idea of Tesla, according to Elon, is so because his Tesla patents are like they're open.
Yes.
They're open. It's an open source, so anybody can use his patents. This way, he can accelerate, by helping his competition. And like you said, he doesn't care
Yet
if
the
he loses his
schematics aren't out there for his
Correct.
vehicles,
It's
so that
just that-
mechanics can work on them reasonably.
By the way, since we're talking about EVs, just for a hot second, Ford has put a halt to their F-150 Lightning line.
No.
Why is that?
They're having issues.
Oh, look, it's right
They're
here.
having issues with
So
the battery.
first Rivian's having problems, then I'm hearing
It's right
Lucid's
here.
having
You
problems.
know what I love? You know what I love? All the people that fucking hate Elon. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, Tesla's overvalued, and I'm gonna buy puts on the stock and blah blah blah. Watch, there's so much competition coming. I've been hearing that for like the last few years.
I've been hearing that too.
Competition's coming.
Oh yeah, you have no idea how many people want to talk smack about my car.
This is not financial advice. I'm just talking out of my ass. Buy more Tesla.
Sold.
Sergio, what do you say? What do you say, Sergio? What do you say about a Tesla?
Oh, wait. No.
No, we're
Stock
not
wise, I
going
mean,
there.
stock wise.
We
I
got
mean,
no.
We're not going there. We're not going there.
Nope. Anyway,
Privately, we can talk about it, but we're not going there. No.
yeah, we can't do that. We can't.
Because
No.
you're getting punished until they can bounce.
Anyway,
all I
listen.
know is like Elon is a genius. He's an absolute freaking maniac genius. Okay.
Yep.
So
Whatever he says
I
is
think this deal, by the way, looks a little shaky to me, though. You know why? Because it says it's going in effect at the end of 2024.
Yeah,
Well,
April
Biden
2022.
may not be around at the end of 2024. So
but no, Pete Buttigieg ain't going anywhere. He's got to
Biden
worry
might not
about
be around
train
next month,
derailing.
man. The way he's going.
yeah, true.
Did
You know
you
what?
see-
This is well, we can't talk politics. Like, we can talk this afterwards too. Because I thought that he was already set up to go anyway, but I don't know.
Someone has.
Listen,
It was
I
said
bet
we
you it
try
was
not to
Poppy
talk-
Joe that struck the deal, though.
It's not politics unless if it affects rideshare. I don't have a problem bringing it up and we can go for it. If it
it's not,
affects,
it's not. It doesn't affect right here. It's just
right, I understand.
no. It's okay. No, we don't talk about it. No, but so if all the Tesla chargers open up to all the other cars, maybe I'm thinking. I mean, Tesla started with the huge government loan, right? Because Tesla was broke,
Right.
basically.
Okay. Yeah. Right.
So maybe that's Elon's little payback, saying like,
Oh, that's fair.
I
That's
became
fair.
like the richest man on the planet with
He
you
ain't
guys'
gonna
money.
Mhm.
Yeah,
know
but
what
he
I'm
ain't
saying?
gonna lose. He ain't
No,
gonna
Oh
lose.
yeah. Oh no.
He's gonna get
Yeah.
those fat government contracts. His biggest worry is, okay. I'm gonna say it. Tinfoil hat. His biggest worry is he needs to get that contract in place before the next presidential election.
Well, and I
Well,
was
I
going to
think
say
the next
this.
presidential election, they're gonna like it anyway. I mean, it says all 50 states and Puerto Rico.
Yeah, but what I'm
But-
saying is the next person coming in, if it's from the other side of the aisle, they're not exactly that EV friendly.
Yeah.
I was thinking too,
lot
if
of
this
money.
deal goes,
That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money in that transportation infrastructure bill that's just sitting there doing nothing for, crap projects or whatever, pet peeve
There's a
projects.
lot. Look, honestly, I think until big oil and coal and gas, natural gas, look, they're not going to lay down and accept this. Okay, that everything should be EVs. I mean, you got to admit that. So they got their money on the other side. So it's going to be an interesting play. Let's see how that works out.
Fritz, that is true to a certain extent, especially if you're charging on peak. That's true, but in most cases, when you're charging off peak, you can beat the most fuel efficient vehicles out there. So
No, that's
Correct.
true. I'm not saying that about that. You're right about that because a lot of people
I was
are
just
saying
answering his response.
Well,
His
EVs
question.
are
Yeah.
as bad. They're saying EVs are as bad as gas cars because what kind of pollution it creates to get that electricity grid
Right.
into the system, and you have most of these
Well,
things are like run most of these
off coal.
electricity companies are run by oil or crude oil or
Well,
whatever.
and
Anyway,
my dad made a good point. He said, where do you think all this stuff gets manufactured, and where do you think all of this machinery and everything comes from? No matter what you say, everything streams back to what's it called? Fuel oil, some kind of clean, dirty energy. So if you want to pretend, I mean, that's the thing. They want to have the narrative that everything is clean. They want to have the narrative that you driving down the street and not putting out emissions is clean. But the fact is, everything else behind it, these batteries, what are you going to do with the battery after you can't use it anymore? What do you do with the body of this vehicle once you can't use it anymore? That's a lot of stuff that people don't think about because they're just looking at the vehicle on the street. But it makes a lot of emissions, and the factories that it takes to build all this stuff makes a lot of emissions. So it's a foolish argument. It's not even worth.
The word sustainable is put in front of something, and all of a sudden that cures it. So just be aware. There's always another definition to, like what Sergio was saying about marketing. Marketing is just so well done today on a number of things to trigger you to think that this is something of something else. That's not just what we're talking about.
I'm
I
just
really think
hoping
oil
that this
companies
means. Go ahead.
I
Go
think
ahead.
it's gonna. I think that the oil company. I mean, okay, what happens when SpaceX commercializes space? They need fuel, and they ain't gonna be the only ones that are gonna want to go up there too. And he's the only one that builds the engines that can do that. So he's gonna be
Yeah.
selling those to other people, so they can go
Oh
out there
yeah.
too.
I'm just
Okay.
curious to see if
That's
this means
like
that they
I
can
think
expand.
we're in like waters that we have no clue about, including myself, which I have no
Mm.
clue. Now, do you guys know? By the way, I don't know. So if any of you or can Google it or whatever, like what is
Tesla.
in order for Tesla to do this deal, they're trusting something in the background that
Right.
their build rate on these charging stations is gonna be
That's what I was gonna
astronomically
say.
fast. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
that's what I was about to say. Yes.
Yeah.
I
So
think
I don't
this
know
just
if
means that
he's
they're going to
trusting that
expand
in
their
the
network.
next 2 years until this deal goes in, he's going to triple his grid
Right.
size or whatever. So then,
100%.
I don't know. I mean,
I
That's
would like
exactly what I
to.
was thinking.
I would like to end this particular part of the conversation before we wrap the show up with just this picture, because this picture to me represents everything about everything we're talking about. Okay, I want to see if you guys get it. You ready? You
Mhm.
ready? Okay. Do you see this picture right here? Do you see
Yeah.
the picture right here?
is that
Do you see who
Greta?
that is? Yeah. And you see what she's holding?
That's Greta. Yeah.
So
Mhm.
how is the child prodigy climate change spokesmodel of the world? What's her carbon footprint for printing out a book she wrote? How
No,
many
Vinny,
trees
that's
had to
made
get
out of
chopped?
recycled trees.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
exactly, bro.
T-shirt that she's
But
wearing
That's
how is
was
it
my
made
being
in
point.
China.
processed?
The T-shirt
That's
she's
my
wearing was made in
point.
China by slave labor.
It doesn't matter. It's a printed book. It had to be made out of something. How are you saving the climate if you're printing a fucking book out of trees, paper, ink, plastics,
Vinny,
fuel,
Yep.
relax.
rubber?
Yep.
This is
Listen,
There's a
what I'm
point
talking
to
about.
that.
Vinny,
I would
relax.
have been
Mass
impressed.
Relax.
manufacturing. Yeah.
I would have been impressed. The only way this makes sense to me that she could have got away with this if that book would have been an Audible book only. And you're going to tell me somebody in the climate change world couldn't have thought about that? Hey, let's make it an Audible book so we can prove we're not hurting in the environment while they can listen to her book. But no, that's it. Listen, climate change can kiss my ass. How about that? And
Oh yeah,
YouTube,
you could
all
definitely
that,
do that. You
I
could
can't do
definitely do the
nothing for
knock
you.
FBI now.
You ain't lying.
All
Here you
right.
go. I'm
That's
just
right.
saying. Listen. I'm not a tinfoil hat guy all the time. Well, yeah, I am. But does that not make sense? Anyway,
Yeah, no, I mean, look,
anyway.
it makes sense a lot. Like a lot of this, I think, honestly, my opinion again, only so don't get offended, anybody who's watching, is that a lot of this is a big marketing play. Okay,
Mhm.
honestly, like I always say this to friends who are new to Starbucks, which like they come up from overseas and they haven't seen a Starbucks and this and that. So, but marketing is so powerful in the United States that you can
Yep.
pretty much sell anything to anybody. And if anything Americans are good at, it's marketing. Okay.
And that's what
So
Coachella is going to be all about,
it's
marketing
all
the
marketing,
entire
bro.
time.
It's all
Yeah.
marketing. So,
Yep.
so if you go into a Starbucks and you look at the board, so there's a thing called, let's say, chai latte for $5.50.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going like, okay. So I know what chai means in Turkish because I was born there and it comes from there. Chai in Turkish means tea. TCHAI. Okay.
Mhm.
Now, if Starbucks put tea latte there, we think they would be able to sell that for $5.50.
Nope.
No. They put chai latte, they put some exotic shit name on it. They go like, oh, it's worth $5.50. And it's the same shit that happens with college education in this country. Because
Yes.
everybody pounds the table saying that, oh, everybody must go to college so we can have
Yes.
them borrow all this money to go to college and then, pay for it the rest of their lives. Not everybody is supposed to go to college. We're missing plumbers and electricians, you morons.
Yes.
Hey,
Yes.
So I go,
hey,
you know why Germany does so well in the middle of a shithole called Europe? Because in Germany, and they have the best manufacturing of everything in the world, really, truly. They're so exact. The reason for that is at high school, the counselors, like unlike here, don't pound the kid's brain saying, you must go to college. No, they go, Okay, you two boys are going to go to colloquial school and become plumbers. You two are going to become this. You two are going to become that. You two are going to go build robots. You two are going to go this. As opposed to brainwashing everybody saying, "Oh, you must go to college. You must." So everything is this big old marketing game. This EV thing is a big old marketing game to me.
Yep.
You know, you must drive EVs. I'm like, why do I have to drive EVs? I don't know. To save the planet? I'm like, no.
And
So
you
to
waste
me,
the best years. You
it's
waste
all
the best
marketing,
years.
bro. It's all
Yeah.
marketing.
But you waste, coming back to the education point, you waste the best years for somebody to be able to really absorb a craft and really get immersed into it by forcing them and saying, "Oh, it doesn't matter which one you go into, but make sure you go to a prestigious one because that's the only one that's going to get the attention of all the big corporate blah 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 blah."
Meaningless
Well,
stuff.
let me bring this back full circle. Let me bring this back full circle to Herbal, to Uber in DK. What was it? A quarter ago, not this last quarter, a quarter ago when they first brought on the Hertz Rentals. Part of his thing on CNBC, I remember listening to it, was, "Oh, we now have a partnership where if the drivers don't have a car, they can rent a car through Hertz. They'll be able to rent a Tesla for a fee every week, and they'll be able to feel good about helping the environment.
More
while
marketing.
they're earning money."
Yeah.
Yep, I remember that because you can always count on DK being on CNBC the mornings before earnings. Every quarter, he's on TV.
He's
but
great.
I see how a lot of the drivers take care of their Teslas to help the environment.
Yeah.
Oh
All
yeah.
right. Well, listen,
Yeah,
we're at 11:26, y'all. We need to wrap this up for everybody on the live stream. Hey, I want to thank everybody for stopping in tonight. You got
You can't give us those thumbs up.
Yeah, make
Thumbs
sure
up.
you hit like and subscribe. I try not to overburden anybody watching with that, but it really does help us all out. Everybody's got YouTube channels. They're listed in the description below. We always appreciate Sergio from the RideShare Guy coming over. He's a man of few words, but they're important words, so they matter more. And
Oh man, I talk a lot.
Yeah, bro.
I talk a
You
lot,
know,
bro.
I'm trying. Listen.
Okay, hey, no, by the way, I was not kidding. I don't know if you guys saw that or not. You know, there's this Colorado bill that's being shopped around in the Colorado State Assembly.
Well, I heard you mention it today, but that was the first time I heard about it.
Okay,
Hold on,
so
what?
no, there is this is like a very similar sister bill almost to the one in Illinois, which gives drivers deactivation protections. They have to go into arbitrator. If Uber loses, they have to pay them all the back pay plus 9% interest and all that good stuff, right? Plus total transparency when it comes to what the passenger pays, what the take rates are, things like that. The author of this of that bill had an article. Was a lady that worked 3 years doing DoorDash and surviving. Okay. And now she got elected to the Colorado legislature. The first thing she did was write this bill because there you go.
Is that it?
Yep, that's the one. So everybody go read it. It's only 10 pages. But if you look, Eddie, if you can Google her name is Stephanie. It's in there somewhere. But she wrote this article on her own about DoorDash, about gamification, all that stuff. And it came out like 2 weeks ago, maybe not even. So this lady exactly knows what she's talking about in this bill because she actually was a dasher for 3 years before she became member of the House. So I have very good not intentions, but I'm almost locked it down. She's going to be on the show talking about exactly this bill and what's going to happen around the country going forward. So I think it's going to be an interesting interview.
I'll be watching that.
When do you have her scheduled?
I haven't had locked her down, but I'm thinking maybe like March 7th or March 14th.
Okay. And when is this bill already been presented?
Absolutely. Yeah. This is in the committee.
So it's on committee now?
Yeah. But I mean, it's a little too complicated for my liking, but certain things are excellent. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And and this comes from a person. See, a lot of these bills get written by lobbyists or whatever, right?
Right.
It rarely does by somebody who's actually gotten their hands dirty. Right. This lady was a DoorDasher for 3 years. She knows exactly what to put in there, and she did. So, yeah, there is an artist. Look. Okay, Eddie, look at her name, like Stephanie.
Yes, I'm looking.
It's in like Stephanie Grill or shit, I forgot her last name. But you guys will find it anyway. So yeah, and
Well,
um,
if once you get the date locked down, let me know, and then we can all put it up and maybe get it,
yeah,
get it out
I
there
will.
before that show happens, so that we can try to listen. You guys get a good crowd already. You guys are king dinglings in the YouTube space to begin with. So, but if we can push maybe some people who aren't familiar with your channel and whatever, we can send them
Yeah,
to
no,
you.
it's important. It's an important thing because it's happening state by state, right? Minnesota did it, now Chicago, Illinois did it, now Colorado is doing it. I
Stephanie
mean,
Vigil.
the tide. I have a feeling the tide is turning in drivers' favor in certain areas.
Right.
There you go, Stephanie Vigil. Sorry, there you go.
So
Sister,
I'm
okay.
I'm just curious. Maybe you have an answer. What would
There
it take
you
for it
go.
to get
But
to the
that's the
federal
but
level?
that's the bill. But now, Google Stephanie Vigil DoorDash driver. Go ahead, do that, and then you'll see that article that she wrote actually about 2 weeks ago. And she's talking from firsthand experience. She's no dummy when it comes to gig work.
What is it?
And that's what we
Stephanie
need.
Vigil
We need that.
DoorDash driver or something.
I guess the only question I would have to be and I'll get the link from Eddie later, and I'll go.
Yeah, I'm a DoorDasher and been elected to. There you go. That's the one.
That's amazing, though, huh?
So,
That's her.
Sergio,
That's
what do you
her.
think it would take it? What would it take to get it to the federal level instead of just the state by state?
I don't think it's going to happen federal level because the head of the DOL, by the way, if you guys did not know it, who's the biggest union guy ever to work at the DOL, guess what, boys? He just left right before the DOL ruling comes out and became the union head at the NHLPA Association for 20x his government salary, $3 million a year.
Did he really? Wasn't this guy the head of the AFL-CIO?
Marty Walsh.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
just
I
left.
heard about that.
Wow.
So now
Yeah, I
there's
heard
no
about
threat
that.
from the federal side. So you guys can rest easy. You're all going to be independent contractors.
Well, I was going to
Oh,
rest
there you go.
anyway. I listen. I'm
So
retired.
yeah, she's cool. She's amazing. She looks a little Democrat to me, but it is what it is.
100%.
And then we want to have her on.
Did
We want to have her explain
did you
this thing.
did you just
It's gonna be
assume her
awesome.
gender, Sergio? Did you just assume her gender?
What is it?
Stop it. Stop it.
She looks like the
You just
girl on
assumed her-
MSNBC. What's her name?
Rachel
Oh
Maddow.
yeah. What's her face?
Rachel Maddow.
Yeah,
Right?
that's
Yep,
the one.
that's
Yeah,
another one.
Yeah.
that's the one. Yeah,
Listen, you cannot assume their gender.
yeah.
Be
Don't
nice.
judge a book by the cover. Come on now.
Be
Anyway.
nice.
Yeah, I'm
All
nice.
right. Anyway. All right. So let's wrap this show
read
up.
it and read that, and then we'll talk about it in a couple of weeks. So
All right. So once again, I want to thank everybody. Real quick, 10 seconds or less. Give me a tip to say hello or a tip to say goodbye. Steven, what you got? Real quick. Come on, chop chop.
Man, take a chance in different markets. I'm really thinking about chasing different events that are going on. I mean, I'm not saying that it's for everybody, but it's something that you can have a lot of good experiences, meet new people, and learn new skills all over the world. So, take a chance to explore outside of where you live and what you do to be able to expand your entire life's horizon.
Sweet. Omar, what do you got?
he's muted.
Omar.
You're muted,
Omar,
Omar.
you're muted. All right, he's gone. Eddie, what do you got?
I was on.
Oh, always have alternatives to your ride-sharing apps. This way you get money coming in, like things like or money saved up, kind of like if your car breaks down, like mine.
Yeah.
So yeah, we
we're
need to
going
talk
to talk
about that.
We're going to talk about that tomorrow morning on the trading live stream. So you can join Driving in Style, Eddie's Watch Me Lose Money channel. I'll probably throw mine up too, and we'll go from there. Omar, what do you got, Omar?
I was just gonna say that I'm expanding upon what I talked about last week. When it comes to choice, you could choose to be successful. You could choose not to be successful. I mean, that's the way I look at it. There's so much opportunity in this country, and that's what this whole show has really been about all night. And but again, don't give other people that choice. Don't. If there's negativity in your life, If it comes from social media, like I said, turn it off. If it comes from CNN, MSNBC, turn it off. You choose
100%.
to give people the power to give these things power over you or not. So,
Mhm.
what do you want out of life? It's your choice. It really truly is. Despite all the things that exist in life that really piss me off, um,
And there's a lot,
you know,
trust me.
yeah, there is. As a libertarian, just choose to better yourself. That's what I'm working on right now. I'm choosing to better myself so I can live the life that I want to live.
Amen. Sergio, what do you got?
I actually I'm gonna plug Steven actually here because he did something totally out of his comfort zone. He went to a different state to make a good week of driving for himself and make some money. He was successful at it, but in this life, without taking a chance, you're never gonna, or jumping in the deep end of the pool, you're never gonna figure out how deep the pool is. And if you can survive that, then you pretty much can survive anything else. So take a chance in life. It's okay. You may fail, but if you don't take the chance, you'll never find out if it was going to be rewarding enough for you. So always take a chance.
Amen.
Thank you.
Amen. And
And
I'm
go
gonna wrap
watch his video, please, because we need Google push to get it to like 25K views. Can we just have a little Google push?
Go.
All right, and I'm gonna end it how I always end it. You are a result of the choices that you make. If you
Yes,
don't
sir.
understand what that means, I'll say it again. You are a result of the choices that you make. Don't make excuses that somebody did something to you, or it's somebody else's fault. Listen, you are a result of the choices that you make. So where you are now is because of every decision, every breath, every day you lived. You are right where you are supposed to be because you made those choices. Ride sharing is good for a temporary gig. It's not a full time gig. It's never meant to be a full time gig. And we can see, we talked about it every show all night. They're coming at you. Find yourself some other streams of income, learn a trade, learn a skill, use this time to better yourself. Because the red flags are up, bro. The red flags are up.
Kindness is free.
Yes.
Kindness is absolutely free.
Yes.
It
Learn,
is.
yes,
Now,
Vinny.
yes, listen, okay. So I'm going to give you a tip on how to probably increase your tips. I was going to save this, but I'm going to give it to you now. Next time you got a passenger in the car and you're talking to them, tell them, yeah, ride sharing's great and the money's okay, blah blah blah. But this is my social interaction, and point to them like this. You're my tell them that they're your Instagram, they're your Facebook, they're your Twitter, and that'll make them feel good. And you might see your tips go up. You might actually make
100%.
a few more pennies because the social interaction, the pause killed all that. And now,
100%.
like, listen, there's more to life than swipe left and swipe fucking right. Anyway, all right, let's end this show. Bring it all up. Everybody here together. Appreciate y'all. It was a great stream, and we will see y'all next week.